yɛbɔhwɛ article 86 and then 87 ɛhɔ ɛna ɔma the mandate of the National Development Planning Committee and a commission, in fact even to the establishment yɛbɔhwɛ ɛwɔ hɔ na yɛzi ho nkɔmmɔ. I mean, are we moving forward as a nation? And this is the 8th National Development Plan Commissioner we constitute. This is the 8th. And onya abeni biane fault. Onya president biane fault. I would say it is the fault of the constitution. And every government biaba or establish National Development Planning Commission. And according to the constitution, the members or the National Development Planning Commission also it shall be responsible to the president. And they are going forward. Do we need to establish a National Planning Development Commission as a board or a national constituted body? And one day, one is there. This is their office. Formulate policies. 10 years, 15 years. Now, you read the 40 years National Development Planning policy. That was in 2017. In a year, 40 years. Now, His Excellency is talking about Ghana at 100. Ghana at this. Why don't we have, a well-constituted, non-political National Development Planning Commission? I know the reason why I make a day non-political. And you're based on Komo, you're coming now is in Komo. His Excellency, the former Vice President, and so and I apologize to the NPP fraternity in London for their defeat on Cheribiana election 2024. You know the massive defeat occurred the NPP. Now the former Vice President Alhaji Baumel Guda already thank you to or they could pay him London. Now some time ago, yet say oye data ho insensem ewo omanimu. The Member of Parliament for Ningo Pampram constituency, Honorable Elder Samuel Jata Nate George. Obi baby say I didn't tell me the Jata na she, but the Jata she me friend na ojedo. Oh yeah, elder so. Yes. Now, you know, or chastise the previous administration, the previous government, the previous Minister for Communication on data price in Ghana. And then maybe so what is the cost of data price? And that to data now or to then. But also we should trust the process. By the end of the year, Ghana data data no buy in oboko form. Now he is the minister. Also a man up to the end of the year. Should we pardon him and give him that time frame? At the end of the year, what should we tell him? Okay. Many Alhaji Osman Onyima Hamson Yashi Wakakanajin Mafandama na we who died in Doso into Wakakanajin Achama. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know. Mr. Sabakan one corner. Mr. Metra Margin pa. Obatinasina is in common. The editorial front on the National Development Planning Commission in common amazing can Mr. Atuga. But if you remember Minchia, oh yeah, Mr. Chris, agree, Mr. Chris, yeah, Marty Winchia and pa. Mr. Chris, medasi. If you are bringing Michio, or maybe my friend is in common. Senior Staff Association, Universities of Ghana, UCC branch, chairman or Mr. Chris, agree. If you are bringing good afternoon to you. I salute. Every young can say, I Michia Sandy, Kumisene Transo. Yes, Michia one pa. or Modena Warbo, the Bois or the University Staff Association, senior staff. Yes, Minchia one bebre. Now, as then being called High Sense, also in the 2025 High Sense television promo no Oyaza on the 28th of this month to 8th of June, and the promo no shall say now we into over ranges of inches from 32-inch TV to a whopping 110 inches display or TVs. L1 showroom. Then you know a TVC. The kind of quality a TVC product. Oti enti enye bi obi wa bra wate to bono do call High Sense. Europa League final and obokodi na ka GB in esi ho na hwa picture no bia o se pandin poto for me bo hu ana ye camfo or your High Sense one television brand in na bi yes Ghana ha all the 16 regions ebo hu one showroom ni bi Mankasim in the central region Urban Blue Hills restaurant or Antequa for 0302550000 High Sense everyday prices for everyday people. Every maminti generator ho enkomo entro because every Ghana Electricity Company and Ghana yanina mahwazen in Kandiano. You can't trust. Can anybody to me doom at any point in time without any explanation, without any proud notice? Obutum will call off at any point in time. But then can you look offer? Who business in you there call off? Hotels no you there shouting off. Who restaurants no you there shouting off? Maybe at that time, I mean, some important personalities to be able to on internet. You come for Anointed Engineering Services Limited. That's right. What yeah, repairs of generator, rentals, and then installation of new generators. And to call Oya Anointed Engineering Services Limited, over 20 branches across the country. Cape Coast, or Tantry, opposite the main lorry station, near Republic Bank. Frey 0248455697 and 0243480334. Anointed Engineering Services Limited. Jede, kade generator expert. Generator experts. Now, better as a man can show there and Marchi Osman or Tottenham. And a man you.
Yes.
Well, what the man you want to back from? What's our Red Devils? Red Devils. One yashi. Red Devils. One yashi. You see, but Tottenham, why close to White Angels in Saturday. I'm making you a little baby. But I bet you could turn a bet way, and the bedisica no code in a share, Osman, I am who share code no Blackus or share code if you uncle for your games. You know, by can't see of Betway. As you come on to go on to Kuno. I'm a mincha KG. Stubborn proud Wednesday born. And we saw you brutal, your game brutal. And the mincha coming so. And then Kofube was salon men would wash our quasi. But Betway said to bet that. Dino and now coordinate check them for your loved ones, your followers, and so on. You earn 4% on their bet. On into a year no baby aji Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Betway get way more. On the editorial front, these are the companies and then Jumokua Warusha and Nasen on the discussion front and Sumaba na Meze Injumukuno Meze Abro. Area Abricano home. Message for messages in 0244 743 143 na yenzi enkomo. Alaji.
Kwamina.
Make be my jatum ati. My jatum. And so I would the menu na minti. Maybe kebia me shada memfa.
Say Francis. Nensani if you.
Until be one on your own sound, Juma Nina. Yeah, wow.
Oh, what's on your
Francis and Insani.
What's on your papa? What's on your
Insani?
What to my What's what to my bar? Oh, what's on your face? I'll call you a copy of Mamma. You want from Mumu? I'll call you a copy of Mamma. What's on your face? Okay, Francis Aquaba. Francis Aquaba to know Aquaba.
Abada se wa so ma. Akwaba.
Yeja.
Bibi aboko.
Nyame na adum bibi aboko no ase.
Nyame adum. Nyame nsro. Me would a white angel do it.
No one Yankopon no bo wi ase no. Ozo bia ne garden in the.
Na worry in some Africa.
Listen no di mechi no tata ase.
Dama.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
Honorable Francis Ejeku don call.
Ewiase
ehu.
Ma me show face na me te wo jefra bo no keke na me say wa se mesi.
Ensanda ne o kofia ne nse si bibim.
Ma na sa na efemu. Onye mo go.
Bibia
onye mo go. Me left it me tro am to mo bo tro.
Amafu.
Asamu. Ara mi Yesu mwa. Nine.
That tobo tro. My lefty was for now go pen your pa.
Mpo so exam simpo a time dare mpo no. Na me deliver so.
Oh, okay. Inte deliver.
Ba why azi? Me deliver. I am sure Francis. Ayazi. On show na fisi say.
Me feel that man kwete na mete do so sa na won so te do.
I want to heavy. My friend that dey be try that dey. Me twa odi no.
Nti ewana wo ba yefo no so yeda wona ase ewana wo ba yefo no asinu kruwa for yeda wona ase it's unfortunate that na me yar nti the way me mini pa because me will be one ka me baje banchi wo no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yako wedding na ka di banchi obi ncha.
On son of mikita agenda
bi. Nti mba kru kwanu me bi.
Egina mami bi won ka me kwaje banchi.
Double do.
Yes, me kwaje banchi na oye abenaze tim wo fiana okunfu donfo kweku ofram waruko nam si me yar wan kan ntam so kam me kwaje me banchi ma mbe yi ewa mami bi ochibo fruit o o wife do bo hu no
yeah
ochubo fruit o
I
wouldn't nyim because
yeah my wife no bohu
ono bohu no
menyim mpo na kire mpo a mehu
enhu no ochubo fruit o but I as nyam nshiro
me da se
ye bompa de is on char mesima eya ade de weedi on char na ayeyi
en France wa oil slow ba shoe Marcus last time I meet sin na apena them nickname them slow ba shoe king more GHS na mpadi bi de tom
akwan na ba nsem Francis me da say
wa kanye mo bi ahwe and ya but Sunday Wednesday so from Saturday nyumbre Sunday obaka ahwe okwa sir abese Saturday obaka ahwe okwa sir ana Saturday na akwese
one church members
Saturday no nne
enwa he madam poto
na brewo
abro no woman
so Friday mo ba Friday mo ba hansa me ko Friday me fi krom na adasam consider come ko ba me fi na adasam
okay nte kodru na brewo
Jezuma
Saturday nso rounds na brewo
Saturday no
brewo Sunday na
Saturday no kra no
but in the Wednesday enti ni ebesiesi bye bye
no yegure edijuma na yankopon
yegure
edijuma na yankopon so won twa na meba
etumoku
na yankopon sanu
mo se etumoku ena awoyeko mocha chia na yanko obi agbohu awotum chia na yanko
ya obi biara ofi na komo manare ofi ni pem obey tamechi benyem wife ye de obi biara si Nyankopon ni shi obi biara fiti Kastle FM staff and opinion and kasa honorable Francis Ejeku
yes
me church members me bushafo ofi Kumasi be in fact the way ansu ni year no na me fi there
ikro na more time ansu ni be na no be
sesuman
ikro no more time
on to one so
ikro no more time e woda na no
enti na e fin there na wo san doom light enti na in fact enyi that's about nyankopon
na say nyame wo wa
enyi no enyim nyam papa nti me do bibia ase me wife if nya komo me do bibia ase and za obi biara hwere wo yan hu biara no nyankopon hya na anem
amen
me do bibia ase me chi bibia
nyame nhyira wo na wife nyina
also slow but sure we are mo ho
me ba me hu no wanko na ma na manga sana
ano banka mente
ano you know
ocha na te wa so na no pa no di be fia ade
enti chawan Francis no wife ye chio ai you may so can poach okay
mpocho yan bere so no mu ye man
see so osere ye hu difference and that the ye hu difference because me so free now no reba no say ye hu difference inside I say
hey Francis
bonu kru wan kwan Francis bye bye we bye bye Alaji Mati bye bye Ebusa high Kastle 90.3 FM. Ma o messages in Mbra 0244-743-143 0244-743-143 Yenzi inkomo ewa for messages no Fabra. Yes, for messages in the Fabra. If you are man follow water pop. Na Blackus we have been pada me no wan hwe wa hade. Pada me ka bibia wa ha. Na nka we have been me no wan hwe pa. Me pada me ka bibia. Ano on Wednesday na oye ya. Na wa hira wa ba di studio ha bodo. And say Aaron Baba betna say.
Anope na me say oh na Blackus wan for Monday say my na anya adwuma. Enti na anope na me say kwani bia na me no be yi.
Okay.
Amber na adwuma so no customer reception. I say okay, no problem. Afa me hwe na tuntum wom kokko wom.
Actually you dey me ka do na digdigdigdigdig.
O temri kana mo kwakwa attack no kono me say che me be yenya.
Na nkofo ro kwanyima aso o ka eche ma. Afi di Kastle FM man wore wa ha onyeje. Afi di mo. Oba ha na if otwitwa pictures hun pictures hun e ka cause oh okay djuma no na bodo so pictures hun time aba time no ko time ne yan is ye djuma hun na da ye hun be sia for wa dwi nyina asai
otwa pictures
alaji yanko enenim yes ebusia get the conversation and we are very nkofu bi ya mama de na babara me de acha one but article 86
yes.
Na American article 86 na yahwe the lapses in the constitution we cannot fault any president or any government of the day. For a very long time we've been talking about National Development Planning Commission that we need to have a national agenda. Every politician, another government, and before you come into office, in your manifesto, you draw your policies from the National Development Agenda. Now, and this article will be anyone you may be bringing, and I want us to address it and we talk to it. Article 86, also National Development Planning Commission. 1. There shall be a National Development Planning Commission. The commission shall consist of a chairman who shall be appointed by the president in consultation with the Council of State. 2. The minister responsible for finance and such other minister of state as the president may appoint. 3. The government statistician. 4. The governor of the Bank of Ghana. 5. One representative from each region of Ghana appointed by the Regional Coordinating Council of the region. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 6.
6, yeah.
Such other persons as may be appointed by the president having regard to their knowledge and experience of the relevant areas and roles pertaining to development, economic, social, environmental and spatial planning. Now, also the point 4 no clause 3. Also, the National Development Planning Commission shall be responsible to the president. Now, Yenzin Komo, this is the 8th National Development Planning Commission constituted by the President of the Republic. The 8th one, Onona Eneda, was sworn into office, another or constitutee, or inaugurate. Let me use that word, or inaugurate. So we are having the 8th National Development Planning Commission. So as a nation, per what the Constitution or every change of government, we need to constitute a board or a commissioner or a National Development Planning Commission. I don't think China, when they were planning, Dubai, when they were planning, 1 year every 4 years, they will constitute a commission for the development of the nation. But why a nation of not more than 40 million people every 4 years, we need to have a commission to champion our national development? Can't we have a body? Government biaba on ya abanibi no yin, because this per what the Constitution is saying, a political commission or a partisan commission, because the Minister of Finance, the next government Obaba, whether say NPP no Obaba, will have different Minister of Finance. It means a constituted commissioner, Minister of Finance need to be on that board. So why don't we have a clear-cut point that we are having a national commissioner, Osiwa? This is their office. Every region, now one plan for the development of this nation. But every 4 years, we need to have a commission. And they are responsible to the president. And the our maybe come maybe biano, president, then where are we heading to? Maybe you don't get where I'm coming from. Alaji.
Kwamina. Mama chawo etief no nya hwefo no. Yes. Yanda wona say nya brewe so as usual. Wona na waka ye ho. So wona wonwa ye nwo. Wonwa ye no ye nwo because eye dwuma na so obi arenti obi arenhwe wa. Oya work in vain. But in the one mbonti na bibia yenso yetumenya na ma ahonde na kokudura. Yenso yeze betina dey na yenso yen little effort yenso will contribute na yeze boa ma bibia kon kan tie da wona say. In fact, we are also streaming live on Facebook and so. Nti awe wo fia eti ye no radio do no botuma fa wo phone no na e call your Facebook a wo search box no but Kastle 90.3 keep course e bo shemu wi a page no baba oba bombozi na like page no na follow na afi sanso share na wuna so baby no so onya bi nhwe na mo comment no ombra na ma de bia kan messages no me jize da oba so ba kan na exam one. Kwamina, issues about developmental planning. Ashe amana nde enyina yetena hade ya ekete wonwa we mara nka de mama na woso etim woso eba obra wo honum eye bibia honum no wan so na kodu the stage nde wo mi. In fact, it took them through a certain process and a wo man and they yakopona ya wana aduma. They have thrived we to ma share one economies one social systems they are doing very well. Me just the Ghana yen so bodu baby we also get to that level no. But from the high side to yakopon so ayen adum there, their past experiences, mistakes other countries were yeah no. In the ninya we document ama yema and na yet na hade no. Ekete wonwe ko social media, eko online ebo to makwakope books on how other countries what to moye ones why ye. And they be na say ye kan one popular book another one popular person be abonize Lee Kuan Yew. Ekete wo phone say na say Lee Kuan Yew e bon we kwana we si wo fada. In the Singapore no we si wo fada once we share one economy one on mana in the Bible down states here ye wo mi.
We started with them.
Yes, we started with them. But a lot of the Asian countries,
and the young the state of Singapore.
Yes, A lot of the Asian countries, we started with them. In fact, some of them were even doing better than them. But one in the in fact, even what Africa had in Pono, Asian Pasa within Africa had the we saw what the North Africans were. And if you look at the uprising not starting from Tunisia, Bouazizi in the time, I feel about taking center stage, the wave through the Middle East. Now, if you go to Egypt, you can see the ones who go to Washington, they are building proper country. They are building cities, industrialization, economic development. They are seeing it. Maybe we are broken. You back at one side, one different from Yenzi. But you bring Nakasa blacks in you, and they'll go to Tanzania, Rwanda. Look at those countries, and to some extent, we look at the Nigerians, the kind of narratives are what's about their country. But you ask yourself, if the Ghana had the first sub-Saharan country in West Africa and in Africa to gain political independence. In the year we are marking time. Other baby, other countries will come into Ghana, learn our systems, will take it back to their country, improve upon it, and they are doing better. Rwanda at a point in time, what about Accra? No, baby, so yes, for that we are organizing Greater Accra. Another young capital town, young sanitation systems, young road networks, architecture, they came to learn from us. And they go to Kigali. Rwanda for one capital. Why is it that in your moment now, those days, and the woman they are far advanced than in Yenum? And the answer now came, another question they be saying, no answer no come now. It is about the politicization of our institutions. Some say the constitution now, and Article 8060, it was not in vain. It is for a reason to now. What about Bonkofi was in there? They are going to be appointed by the president, because finance minister be also Oba or your burning programs are washishano, and the trust and belief of our burning muntino in line with the objectives of the government. It's what appoint the finance ministers be from certain political parties. Because government say, "Come on, how would you believe in my ideas?" So obviously, you are going to appoint in Kofoa anyone by Yejuma. But unfortunately, for Bank of Ghana, according to the person, I have an issue with the various governments in Ghana. Because why is it that Bank of Ghana, or the mother of all banks in the country, the central bank, the banker for banks, will come into commercial banks in Ghana, one bank here, Bank of Ghana, and a Ghana Manasumpana, Ghana Manasumpana Bank, and Kasankasa, the Bank of Ghana, the mother of all banks in the country. Into Bandana, sir, Obi, Bank of Ghana governor, Abanibias is a pet, and governor, so assistant. Because one simplest of the models I was here, in terms of the fiscal policies, or your Ministry of Finance, and I watch when I want to Tonyama, urban taxation, yet enact to laws about the financial management, or the Ministry of Finance, but urban the monetary aspect now, secure circulate within the system, or the Bank of Ghana, so this is the clear cut policy or the one was here, Juma, and can imagine your day, say, Nipokono retirement age in swing. So on your fit for purpose, when you need if you want. But the government say anyone you know, they are all political party members. So it is that simple there.
One government to consider on your no So the policy formulation, the idea, what the boy for the national development plan, had to be scrubbed off. Because there will be a new person who should be a new idea.
That is the whole issue. Because of politics in Sunday.
So we can't think as one,
yes,
as nation.
Yes.
As to how we develop our money.
Yes. Now, I have a reason. Before I'll tell you why. The politicians, they love it so much. Now, yes, in common, me share. Me call National Development Commission for Planning Commission for one website. Now, I'm can you sure the developmental or dimensions are in the year plan is that why you put a teacher on one more year. Come in, if you look at the developmental dimension, another development dimensions now, you were 4. Now, 4, no, you were social development, you were economic development, you were environmental development, and you were institutional development and governance. Now, yes, I in Rome, but me put me highlight some of the social development. Sanka money you to me a plan year. Anka party be about on sisa. Nkende konye dam state na keye woman. One, say 4 year social development now. Social development talks about a corner socially. Yaba for that able to me in your quantitative and qualitative development when you now boom. Number yaba ya fa you now boom that dance me yaba ya hu boton na azin nyina no. And they put the quality of it. And they put the quantity of it. Until they kwa social systems of honoma. Obon kwafunu won ho bra. Ebi ya abazi education for instance. Yen health system na azin nyina no. Ne nyina bika ho. But in the effort yen social development dimension in Ghana, it focuses on these broad range issues. One, education and training. Office actually in education and training now. Kwame, we've been failing the nation. Until the last 4 years, you want attention now, but all your TV to do STEM education. But there's actually better part of your education system now. You're producing kwafumpo manumpono ye here. Into the white collar jobs, no Ghana, you but beyond the team there. Maybe you can put them about time, put them in suit. I want to feel there, oh yeah, Jumano. But in this case, Sanka developmental plan say to me at some from the year Juma. Senior majors and academic states way, And Kaya Borhuman can you train a lot of wire carpenters, engineers, you're training Kofa, and there was one say be people who would be trained in the security agencies and even if cyber security. In fact, I'm talking about IT in general.
Yes.
But this was not the focus and yes, in Ejuma. Yes, sure, your health and then health services, for instance, food and nutrition security, population management and migration for development, reducing poverty and inequality, water and environmental sanitation, child protection and development, support for the aged, gender equality, sports and recreation, leisure and cultural life, youth development, social protection, disability inclusive development, employment and decent work. This is what is going to say, way, the minimum way you now read to mention here. And na yabaka the social development no yetum na ya achieve honum. But almost about the 15 pointed areas of coming na mbe bozini. Bisa wonda no mo henze eze se besi yambo. Na yakara man yetum ya ye nie. Senka yetum ya hyehyɛ na ya plan eze atoa. Ye wo short term, medium term and a long term planning. And like yetum ye hu there. Let's begin from here. Ye yenkosi ade. By the year 2035, ye be yekodu hade. Ye bohwe me ye in the past me ye no na ye question ye kwan nanyim. But as a man, nobody cares about these things.
See, say you have an unkunkra, you have education, you won't how these politicians why you many education.
Okay, baby, abani be say education system no me small akwa to know. Yanko 4 years. It be so by just over the time person you revert back to 3 years. Let's say na name. The context like the syllabus I expect there. Ya basa sana amanyama asesa no. Onu mo na yefa yensa yefa nka. But direction na ye politics okrom hade. Afezi odu baby ye twa gbasi mpo a. Abani bi se mepan do no. Ana ye pass ye. And so ya man kwhwe there what pass work universities no. Abo programs for work akoye. In the be on the job market and then graduate of free school abano. How are we able to absorb them into the system? We are talking about food security. Come in, I am say your question. In the lean season, no answer na me hu there. Obi social media also koto broze batem for or one cran or koto 40 cities. Minim keep cause am come market so me to me get them analysis no.
Aba is broze.
Broze, yes.
This is broze no why na broze na impua.
Thank you. And then be na akase come catch am the what is come market o kozigwa. Na nyama is be fie no.
Obo hu egud dem o calculating building.
You see, so this is the problem. So what is the security in terms of yen is benzim?
Yes.
In the bumper season, it's bonubu. Lean season, na it's bonubu akwa.
And that me koto beans na Brazil motor no. Ma me na nkase hu meni me kara motor was na me broidi de. Na nkase mpo olusu mo broidi na le twitwa no. Ba kada plantain chips.
Onya easy. So we are failing to plan. So that is about the social development, My young queen name kakana yen share the other aspects so. Now economic development. Economic development mostly yarisha kwana iba for that. You about to 2 years kasama. In the jumesi bia ezibia usumpo enyam for suzibi fi hono. Obobo wankasa na wasan so wabo mano. In the so man me I self reliant ojina yen economic planning do. Akwa ebesi eba for that. Yebesi see factories. ebo police nyama yebedu ye nkrom ha dey ma ye nyimi wa de mpo kwan ye ba fara ye so botu ye bosu an ye ba ye kabe fi abrochira ba ye be just kan wan ye fa na ye ze bokọ. These are the areas. One, it talks about building a strong and resilient macro economy, industrial transformation, private sector development, agriculture and rural development, aquaculture development, and after tourism and creative arts development. These are areas say a resilient economy. Economy I know when you shock be by externally it won't affect you. In the Ghana Canadian ton ko confirm America for Kamina would never have any problem. But in the America for Canada was a import tariffs was about some products we do another 1.15%.
We were talking about it.
In the area tourism, for instance, tourism will bring in money, would create employment, but attention or do we are not seeing that. Yes, about the agriculture and rural development now, and they look at rural urban migration. Obia probably no crew, Kasim, because you neglect the rural areas.
Yes,
there is no plan for them. There is nothing. Till last time news will come and catch out there, and the NPP, the idea there. Yes, skill development training centers in the urban areas. If I'm a Kayefuno, now my junior there, it was far fetched. Even as into the young father centers, so
that we build them rather than encouraging them to come down.
Put the capacity over there. Say about or honum, not so producing in your man. You even create employment.
Yes.
Obviously, the Kabako train man will come about 10. Commerce, you are opening up the economy. But as usual, I don't want to work. Then be a Bugana for Dintino. Yet Tawan create what to a bar. Then the summer I carry a young poor within our manifestos. I find a Yabanizer Baby Juma. And Tabu impact nation pono. You wouldn't even get it to honor. In as much as I know a good idea, no. Now me feel the baby start if you know. Sabi one boy.
Yes.
In the project our him for. Yeah, Mr. Young with them questions in Yano. Industrial development. Up to date. 1D, 1F. A good idea on paper. But young brand young butchers can fund tour. Young saw uncrankle one business when us no one to won't produce no one boy me and no one call name. I find as a politics will chrome hadi. And kapati one and you been unquoy. How? One I was just kind of so sad, a human po one yet. Into sometimes we have our own problems.
So Osman, me problem in there. Would this in Kofia, the finance minister, the governor, certain key people be aware because of their role. But can't we also have a permanent people? Establish a committee.
And when I'll come there, I would answer you and say, I'm sorry. Moment environmental development and I share the governance in the sort of here. Protected areas. Environmental, we are talking about protected areas. We are talking about mineral extraction, coastal and marine management, environmental pollution, deforestation, desertification and soil erosion, land administration, water resources, climate variability and change, human settlement development and housing, drainage and flood control, transportation, road, rail, air, water, energy and petroleum, construction and development, infrastructure maintenance, science, technology and innovation, information communication technology. Coming now, if you look at all these areas we are, now imagine like a plan here, Galamsey would not have been an issue in Ghana.
Yes.
Flooding issues, see, Ghana had it every year, behind anniversary come had it. In fact, this year, West. Every day is anniversary come because we failed to plan. And the development of about 20 years, plants, develop your mama. Now, for the church, Gattes.
Now, sir, Ghana Hankotina, or your road you by 5 years, 3 years, and 7 would also wear Gata the tone.
Imagine this country. Yet, no chroma had day, yen animal quabrochi, yen Penifu quabrochi, MPs quabrochi, President of quabrochi, Ministers quabrochi, according to the EU. One of good Schengen visas, for instance, or be to me say Italy, or to more more Netherlands, or to more Germany, or to more Quadman was answered by baby or the same day. Now yet Ghana had it up till now. Your new railway all link and Kran, the capital of Ghana to Western region. Ye be. And they come to Cape Coast there, come to my one Kran, without me relocating from Cape Coast to Accra. And come at a am for me trainer within the space of 25 minutes. Edu edwuma ekwa kwa edwuma. Adechi up and you bring up on 5 o'clock. After we train bio. Sakampa within 30 minutes. You are back to your original location. Into a common man pressure on cotton can do there. Monko and cotton crab by force. But in the because we are failing to plan into know, this is what is going to happen to us. The last aspect to know here, institutional development and governance. Now I want to ask you about for that. I say about 2 years. Maybe say ma. Yenya ya home about 20 institutions over your wonejuma. I want to question a bisa no. It comes in or we are talking about democratic governance, local governance and decentralization, public accountability, public policy development and management, public institutional reforms and transformation, corruption and economic crimes, law and order, human security and public safety, civil society and civic engagement, promoting attitudinal change and patriotism, development communication, culture for national development, and Ghana's role in international affairs. This answers your question. There were institutions, how many can watch one hard, were you resilient enough? Were you strong institutions, what will take one mandate? And the question be some carrying bisa. In the police fire will chroma hade. So bit the bonus of Bachin Pocona, it is based on name affiliation with a political party. So I mean, I'm a child ordinary person, I'm a casting man canea. Mo pray national security, yes. But in the
they control the national security.
You understand?
Order from above.
Our opposition on trust those institutions, you know. Our Benima, they know how they manipulate those institutions. In the IGP on to Musa local quantity must be a manakasanu because ordinary be Obino appointed on member in Eduma. And to make you move the president catch and until and what can he say? In Maka the US or about 2 aba National Security Secret Service or USA. Now Obi sniper question baby z a true ball Donald Trump. Mamini she lost her job because she failed the institution. My chroma there to be resign because of ne attitude.
And so you will chroma hana take kidnapping issue.
Yes.
Man false hope there. You whom from an you may be all we shall phone call an argument to him what the one baba. I don't know you know. No, I'm under different position.
And I was also in a reassigned. Yes. There was no quite different place. Don't conclude.
We are not serious.
You see, boss, coming back to your question, maybe say no. Now it's about the fact that
and there is corruption and economic crimes.
Yes, you're kofu
what?
You're a special prosecutor.
You spelled out all these things as part of our agenda. You did develop this nation.
Thank you.
But the will,
it is not there. Anytime I catch there are certain institutions who come out in there if they have to act to the petition one. Yet no come out the presidents in there. My money appointees no biara nje gift or over 20,000 Ghana cedis. Then president na kasa no. They na
all can when you gift.
No I burn cash too. Us imagine that ka presidential fleet. And when I was expecting there I mean, an institution, a national body, let's have told the president, no, that will give the G. Let's return it back. These are the things we are talking about. But in the you could not turn on your boss, no. After the president, no one isn't. About you know what case against him, but come one minute, you ma. All in two. And the politicization of our institutions, no. Now I make a code down state where you are a woman. Yanakasa political parties in what pay. This is how they want it. Because so for that when you want the car. It is true procurement. And to balance our why because about chadra. It means no or in Jessica. So but when you can I wouldn't start on Fongu. Now the simple start new procurement processes for free. Not take advantage of. And that is what we do. In top I'm now coming it would never help. And now when you can say now even if you have economic dialogue on national planning. Now, Banaka or Twins Afrobia. A bond opposition part of Baka or Runko. Education for one call.
Education for one call.
Economic dialogue one call.
Because we feel that a political party be at their warrior, but it's not about the nation.
So that is the whole problem. It's not that attitudinal change and mentality. Until the Kwame Yabasano, Kwame will still continue struggling. Because the nations are Yakawana. Anytime it comes to institutions as nationalistic in nature, they go beyond politics. When you can say Donald Trump or the president of America, onjina court dema. Original court there classified information but was Sudan control about pardon or him about out. Can we say same? Or we could put about criticize the president. This is what we are doing to ourselves. Ya wa banima ya can some different your positioner ya can some different. So I feel that development is oye obi anabra boom. Say tell us a plan here the pray bibia. Even when you have setbacks, you know, because you believe in the plan that I to know, you'll be able to move on. Now ko when you. But also na yenza akwa putogum hwegum ntino. Mesma what an oboyan for hadea na ya namudo. Oboyan for hadea na ya namudo. Other countries they have proper developmental plans or honum.
So we can assess from the even the National Development Planning Commission.
Yes.
One spelled out various what they develop this nation and what they draw the developmental plan from it. When we assess it, we are failed as a nation.
The solution to this problem in there. Why won't we make National Development Planning Commission only legal and binding on every government? Why? We are talking about Ghana cities.
Yes.
And they now want to know Kosuria, Obia, Bo president, no, this for now bad. We must take glory from opposition there. One of what quiet one. So you are planning to be a honoma. And this is a time, ma. Yanshan Yama, ya, to go out policies, plans, to go honoma.
Able to make sustain. But and we are not talking about sustainability of what we've gained now.
Yes.
But you score the political point from it.
That is the problem. In terms of Kamankutia, nothing I can say on the Kozibi or now come and this America Day. They want to reset the country. Come in resetting the country, soon. And in resetting the country, let's go back to the basics view. In the Yanfa and Broken Kote or National Development Planning Commission, when you measure was saying they say it's not from their plan economically. This is how we are going to go. Obiaba or follow the trend, na ya kwa yejuma. So physical policies, so if these are the laws, yes, yejuma. Na government be overspending the budget. Now you are going to have a threshold you are going to work within now. Kwame and Kobebwa. I've listened to some analysts. What is so far? Also there, the physical policy abonozi yejuma so kind of wild bomber. And once it's gonna so all concern. So if it makes sense, why won't we focus on the priorities of a man than you're 2 years ago, baby? Sometimes homeboy. If I look at the government programs, it is more or less like the programs are NPP abono honum, no worry. Almost all of them. Maybe a 1 million code job no, be new then, be aba. But if you look at a Jumawura, if you look at a
It's Ghana project,
those ones in or just the nomenclature is in
yes.
So it means that we all have the same idea and mentality. But also no be about there. Oh yeah, this one you need for me to know. Our master says yes, you can change the focus. But then you say you change the focus. How do we achieve? How do we measure the impact of programs that you draw on us, Brian? So I told you the last time there. I am particularly happy about NDC planning because at the tomorrow programmer, what's your training impa 10,000? Actually, what's your training impa 2,000? At least it gives you a pointer. You can measure the impact of those programs, But here, when say generally say do gum them ya I don't know what's my training impa 10,000. You don't see them. No, you just scan your one count. No for to be around but in the we need to be able to count and see vividly. Nyama ya unfortunately wetum na wabon. Inti kwame na personally I feel that National Development Plan way is something a bit so bia even a political party will tell you there oyaza ohia but ohia no so yan task na yan jan tum there ya your man with one common destiny whether NDC or NPP whether PNDC or say PNC or say CPP or say PPP or so whatever we are all driving at one focus. It's maybe you to me and boy home. Then you can't bomb as a man. Now that mathematic area you can. And can you start there? Your share Shanyama. Urban education said to the education dialogue. Irrespective of the political party you belong to, go in there, join them. So be people so don't sit somewhere and poo on impacting ideas or zero. So that's STEM education for instance. I'm a catcher called Kamankutin Punk in every region in Biano. You at least 2 STEM schools. Region Biano 2. wom na yɛhwɛ dɛ yɛn development no yɛn focus towards sesa but because as usual politics no dɔɔso ɛna political parties wɔ adwene bɔne no na sɛ ndɛ politics no yɛ business venture politics and yɛ okuma ade obi question because na abare ba power obonye position bi wakɔ question na as yɛn nuanom yɛn hu bi mu hɔ no ma we are seeing them that yɛn nua here for the obey ɛnkyɛ wɔnyɛ no appointment so this is what the youth they are looking for but na kama sɛ na ka appointment no nyɛ bibia it even goes beyond just politics sɛ nyimpa no qualify nyimedwuma no yɛ not because the wabatena radio do akasa da amane political party okuta certificate adwuma no botum na waye a lot goes in when you are going to employ obi into the days akwa obi no private worker they look at your competencies not just because wa ko radio school not just because okuta master's degree but obi so the experience no oye banazi why is it so bana adwuma say because wa kasa ma political party yaman appointment no nkonanyim this is the bane we no man man yentu enyim nkonanyim. We have so many people filled in positions, coming, I'm telling you, they don't have the technical know-how. When you say they don't have the capabilities, they are just there. What field office and keke. In terms of you know, you know too much yet. But someone that you want when you yet, they understand the areas, you know. I look at their work. My more typical example, the former government statistician, Professor Elim Yabua.
Yeah.
Is this Elim
Yabua?
Kobinenim, yes. Look at him.
My man, I
couldn't see offer that. On the Ghana Statistical Service. Attractive. Now government can draw their policies, you know, from one information, another one data was it back. But sometimes I couldn't answer them. So that's why sometimes I say there, I believe in competencies over popularity. But unfortunately for our country, this is what we are used to. And we appoint people to certain authorities because we have some party, because campaign no contributee. As in no contribution, no chop. And I'm quite question man yebia a ring your home for soon. And that has been our bane one day. And the boss, I feel the National Development Planning Commission, no, when you must was it should be binding enough. So when you're binding now, you can plan for whatever you want. Obia boss matter manifesto on a me follow. But in Kende, I draw manifesto based on the National Development Plan now. And call Bob because you're concrete. If you bottom from Ankesim straight, wako. If you bottom akwa for Kumasi, no wako. If you can't put the bottom akwa for Koforidia Tono wako. Or you're quite for a good destination. No. But say Panetama, you want the smooth road, no to the room honum. But say what development commission, not say Oshambra or quite draw no plan or honum or any investigations or quite any research as in na. Not what the plan and blow as a young friend Yuma. Boss, me just for Subiara you. And say what say man this development commission way and for so one. Why not go back to parliament? Your representatives wanting a form. One does so the Sojumaza was in Munyaye. The importance of it, you know. Now, after you make sure that any findings video will come out with, you know, in terms of your economic plan, you know, so social plan, you know, in social plan, you know, it should be binding on the president and the government of about in Bayejuma. But Mesme can based on the constitution, you know, and they own their allegiance to the president.
Yes.
Because he appoints them. Into my opera way, no, and our bay, or Cobandamana, and for Suda, should be no, yes, Rinka. So I pray and hope
rather the allegiance should be for the nation.
To the nation. To the nation.
To the nation.
Now, you're strong institutions. And the institutions all commanded in they are all partisan.
Yeah.
All the institutions. You cannot leave out one. Some crab can
everywhere.
A chin up with the aqua codum palm and PR simple of institutions simply. What about the political appointments? And see, Kwabina say, I am the man, trust me.
Me catch all the maybe I'm free by estimate PR and a minimum for about a number of years. Anytime, yeah, that's the same person and all. Until I came here and then it would at every point in time, every regime there is a new PRO.
So this is our system. To be honest, until they ever say an agent, never use careful politics in baby. Never judge our greediness, you know, because politicians no one man this commission way. When no man for Subiaramba. Yes, politicians. So I'm telling you, or politicians, no, politicians, no one away, because anything to make a country better, they have every plan for honor.
Yeah. So
how come there? You to na delve in. Na yen for one ideas na yen for implement the country. But yeah, but obi start to school then. about my pack egu bibi muso mo mama start me say obi ba start day community day school e-blocks no aban bi ba no also e-blocks wan ye ne to oro mba mboto edo oye bi wie ibi so je ho no up to na bi mpo won wie but I know best so start STEM education meanwhile we could have still feel the STEM education which the e-blocks no but obi apro ye neze na procurement no so nya home for so nto ba ye neze we've seen a lot of these things all could okromade agenda 111 for instance they me yet some experts are working in there e bianca you focus on me able to me my yet able to me able there and call boy dan they ever start to be a 111
a wholesale of it
a wholesale of it e bianca you no buy 40 at a go na who's can oboso an aye we na ye kwan anyim. This is the plan that we should go. But we send there in your town development no oboto na ansa na ya adwene into no anytime bia no na pressure ba nti na make sure there yet no ya wind no oblow no ana onyenko covid amba na ka enyim there o kire ye kona ye kosa agenda 111 ene sagalam say amba okrom ade a enka ya ndwene environmental sustainability ho but in no kofu shemu so a wo say here na environment that has been our problem. It's no I believe and hope that a time will come. I don't know when, but we should have that. I believe that time will come. They are going to have the nation at heart.
Are you sure? Because now the mentality these politicians are building into the current crop of the youth, you know, Obiano do not bring towards yes, towards a certain point. On for the broad interest of the nation.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that's the time we cannot give up now.
Okay.
Giving up is not an option. But me, I believe and hope there. Say I can say because in the present no too many action in him. So no next form no so this is how we are going to go. Na you go to parliament. Why not? A lot of the things changes and then this has the absolute control. Majority in parliament. When they go to parliament and do the right things now, Ghana will support them. Sometimes I should pro or your opposition papers. You know. What can somebody outside and Ghana in command? You can see that they have them backing our support abano. And so the PR gimmicks, you know, it may not work now. Sanya where you may not strong enough. Forget about it. The Ghanaian is becoming discerning. And the Fabia Mununkofa school. At least they understand the policies, programs, you know, they will explain to their people. They will get to understand. About the baby young but based on tribal lines. In some other regions are changing. Ashanti region, we saw what happened. Volta region, it is changing gradually. About the babies and your competence are young to obey and form more. Into political parties, no one's one main one way kakra. Now we'll make sure that them one development agenda in Yunano, it will be nationalistic, not the party's benefit. Because currently this is either a party no contribution, no chop. That is the problem for us coming up.
Halaji made us say we shall hire Kastle 90.3 FM Memanodo and today is in Como in Osman and yet Ninkano and Yashe or the National Development Planning Commission. The 8th one and were inaugurated to see the national development for the next 4 years. Actually, the constitution, actually, one constitution, another how they are to be constituted. Actually, one mandate. National Development Planning Commission. One ankasa, one in Zama would they go aponodo. There are specific guidelines to develop this nation. Can we go on that tangent? And now we should have, a permanent commission. On at any point in time, they are there. They are seeing to the development. They are planning towards the development of this nation, but not everything. A different set of brain crackers or many development. For one message, 0244 743 143 0244 743 143. Father Casford at Nasi or Casa Dema NDC Amayoko no. Father, Christ has some young count.
Uncle
into make us on Kamosu. Bibia Boko. Yeah, they may see.
And the filling stations are a bit of petrol or fill an petrol or son or sonugu. Aban papa ba the petrol no back from until would you free station or feel like oh you put there one or son. But no kind of good for oil policy. No, only the same as good for dollars. Yeah, but Dr. Mahmoud Baumen and people what I said there. Gold for oil is not the same as gold for dollars. Zion win 8 years ago was the Ghana in gold. Was the Kaji Ngofi Abuchida was ever. Is it gold? The Kastle Ngo. Ajongo was petrol. That's about my own. Why the mazin? Na gallon of petrol noble. Na dollar noble. In the Abansesa Bay, petrol noble retu orukofo. Mande the Abascras Memindol Bay. Transport fares will go down by 15%. Dollar to Ghana cedi. Yekese says it's about 11 cedis 90 pesos. Oye in John Mahama Opokwajiman Aban aya yenye dollars pi yazebo manumu. I was so gold ikajingo ezebe. Obi asiso gold aka amanaze akoton mwenye dollars abama yanhulu toyena esi yanfa crediting yanfamo. Enkano nanka gold ya yetu omaimi infosa ye royalties. Bende Mahama no Opokwajiman aya nshishaya obiara wo gold wa Ghana han izin kan etonezema Ghana ban. Mining firms are one gold awotun what can be was in Ghana ban. Kakana Ghana ban yan okoma international market cotton Aussie dollars p is abranya. In she pay it must trickle down to ordinary Ghanaian. Your best way traders, local producers, manufacturers to respond positively to the macroeconomic indicators. You see, exchange rate is a function of demand and supply of forex. Exchange rate stability is a function of demand and supply of forex. Into John Mahama Neshishano, or the dollars p we were not exporting more gold. Abano ko amanazi cotton gold. In the only forest dollars, pounds, also by manu.
Okay.
Into supply of dollars, akosu or manimu. Yenya supply no akosu achin demand. Anything I'm a dollar now was in to all before. Into the Mahmoud Baumiaka, the young fat credit young famano. Brown oil, gold for oil, Aussie gold, Ikajun, Adjungu, Amanazabano. Not a gallon of petrol oil
for gold and Kajaju.
Good for oil.
Oil in Yajungo. Oil, fango.
Fang, very good. Broad gold, it Kaji fango, Amanazabano. Not a gallon of petrol oil, not what one I
all right.
Now, gold for oil policy, Edgesuman, or shall see that.
Father Kastle, I say,
or shall see that.
Mamma Antimansa so Akaba. Nana Buam Nambo.
Yay.
Hey, Akaba.
Yenua.
Bibiaboko.
Oh, Yaminadu.
Na K to then.
Oh, Yaminadu, because Edana Addition, now the Razas, Yebian, and then okay, I'm sorry. To say, Yamia Mamma Bakawa. Why the men that Yamas, Yaman quotation, Yamabushia, from Yaman, Yama Dofu. Say, man tatin carbon, amphibia our day. In there, can say, Bika day, or Benima one sorrow, Mezi Yozi. As done a Mazamanian. You were 5th month, and
5th month, Naomi.
That started this year, which is 2025.
Yeah, Yaruko Pao.
Yan 5th month, and it's 5th month in ya. Or easier, on your easy. Next, it's a son, not in your many ways in the year. Until Ozi can. As a dapa non coma children pon ya mea or boss ron ya sassy. O bonny munzaman hina. Only na yanko to me a coat to na yabo pom why ye de biareda was sunny day. Ma I only ya Marian on your name there or ya sassy into a sassy yammy or some see a rain yammy. To come na Sunday Wednesday, which is 21st, and 21st of this month. Nametasa. Madofita sa, Mebusiana, Biata sa, Aye Yazama Erazi.
na ma fa wakwenye edu no mechia wo CEO honorable Ejeku mechia wakesa wo he na ma semi mbe edu ebo ma afin papa mbe me ebu win mechia odi ebo a mechia obi biara we say Kastle 90.3 ewi abri mechia mankasa mi krom mama hina oya mi wofana na kojo konu a won kodo bebi e wo biara on char edina ye bezi he na afehye nti egu ahobobo ma yer bobo ye no ho nti nana na one ne traditional council ayimfo wom na asafo hemfo asafo krom we hinara mesi nche kase onkomo wan ichi onkomo edina kro na nkasa na nkado a wo ho dunya krom banka krama wo nya mezichia mezefo we Africa sedo na mezechia wan
okay
na ma fo we freedom yankobe de ne birthday nde Jane ototo tilapia atabazi mesende mefa Kastle FM
Jane tutu tilapia atabazi
bochenyo nkofuni mi atabazi joint bi wa ototo tilapia
okay
mefa wa kwenye kesi
atadi payo
ya za mizi mentanzi but mizi because all do be shana wanka sa wa pomuze na we here wara
yes
so bebrebe no or the problem ba so so me the dry fish
for the cast for that no the power
okay this is our power chain the power is sweet ana
the children na watch
na ma fa wa kwenye do
okay
na mama happy birthday do onyina no bodru 90.3 them one number na other radio station or
amen
na wanna call us our friend cause ebe radio na nya call bi ama wan fra o serious thing to call us our friend Messi michia wanda mana me fa wakwenye du mama mankasa me former party bi na me kan PPP oye me den no yan parliamentary candidate den no yan no kra Mr. Sterling honorable Sterling
okay
na brother ewu yan bo Saturday ya obeyin me mane yakọ
all right
Messi yankopon na ranche hwebusu no worry na mo wa hwe no so nyame ayeden wa hye na ni
okay anti man sa me da say the and the one so about cancer anti for the cast for the cast as a man the NDC party that maso na
the esakasa for the cast for customer
NDC party
NDC power switch
oh okay yeah. NDC power switch party na anti man so and we are social commentator sisi anana boam na mbo obo Ghana all right yeah dive into the conversation but yente President Mahama eneda at the inauguration in summer or the tugwa or the mandate ozema the National Development Planning Commission in Koma or the Tuga during the inauguration. Na area is uncommon. Yes, can use uncommon. So, yabema the political actors and so we will be the NPP rep and so Baba Cancer and so I joined the conversation. Yente, His Excellency, the President of the Republic, and during the inauguration of the committee or the commission in Sama or the Tuga, na Yenzin Komo.
It's a great honor for me to inaugurate and swear in the 8th National Development Planning Commission members. Established under Articles 86, 87 of the 1992 Constitution, the Commission's mandate was further reinforced by Act 479 of 1994. These provisions empower the Commission to prepare national development plans, monitor and evaluate the performance of government programs, and provide informed advice to the President and Parliament through rigorous research and policy analysis. This is a significant mandate that demands broad consultation and active engagement with citizens across all sectors of society. Over the years, the Commission has upheld this responsibility, and I trust that under your leadership, it will continue to do so with renewed diligence, integrity, and commitment. Article 36(5) of the Constitution enjoins the President to present a coordinated program of economic and social development policies to Parliament within 2 years of assuming office. Since 1994, this task has been carried out in close collaboration with the Commission, and I'm pleased to note that preparations are underway for my administration's next coordinated program. My office stands ready to support this important process, as the program will reflect not only the vision and policy priorities of this government, but also the collective aspirations of the Ghanaian people. This coordinated program will also be the foundation for the following medium-term national development policy framework, as has been the practice. This framework will guide the operations of ministries, departments, agencies, and metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies over the next 4 years. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to briefly address an issue of growing national interest, and that is the urgent call for a long-term national development plan. Ghanaians increasingly demand a stable and predictable path for national development that transcends our electoral cycles and partisan politics. Here I'm reminded of the words of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in his visionary 7-year development plan, and he stated, "The economic policies will lack direction and consistency unless they are firmly related to a clear vision of the structure of the economy towards which we are moving. It is only in the longer view," he said longer view, "that it is rational to project any really radical transformation of our economic system." And he goes on to say, "In the very short period, we remain prisoners of our past." And so there already Nkrumah was projecting that we should have a longer view of our path of development. Indeed, nearly 70 years after independence, our economy continues to rely heavily on a narrow range of primary commodities with limited diversification and value addition. This reality reflects the persistence of structural constraints that continue to hold us back. Proof that in many respects we remain, as Nkrumah said, prisoners of our past. Since the completion of the 40-year National Development Plan in 2017, under the leadership of Dr. Nee Mue Thompson, not Moy, Nee Mue Thompson, who now returns to chair the commission, other frameworks with similar long-term ambitions have emerged. Notable among these are the Ghana Beyond Aid Charter, the Ghana at 100 Long-Term Development Framework, and the Vision 2057 Perspective Framework. I urge the Commission to consolidate all these various efforts into a coherent, inclusive, and forward-looking national development plan. This must be done in close collaboration and consultation with Parliament and the people's representatives to ensure that the final plan reflects a broad national consensus and is subject to regular review in response to evolving domestic and global challenges. The task before you is immense, but I'm confident in your collective expertise, experience, and commitment. Let us work together to deliver a development plan that charts a bold and transformative path for our dear nation Ghana, and one that will guide future generations and liberate us from the limitations of our past. I congratulate you on your appointments, and I wish you success in your work ahead, and may your work be fruitful to guide Ghana into a future of immeasurable possibilities. I thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
All right, so Inti Yati, the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, during the inauguration of the commission in Samibia Ozituga. Dive straight into the conversation. Now, as in Komono, as you said, more messages in number 0244743143, 0244743143. Text message, another WhatsApp message for Father Fabra. Now, men can inform more. Father, is in Komo National Development Planning Commission. This is the 8th commissioner we inaugurate in Eda. And can't we have one standout commission? In there, every government over per the constitution, there must be an addition to it. Specific areas to be young for. But can we be changing the planning commission every term? Talking about the term of the a particular government.
Yes, man. Mamendasina, Mensre na Mfenchi and Fiamayoku, National Executives President. Vice, Nchesufi, MC, Honorable George Justice Atta. Michiete Fusinara.
All right, so yeah, I have 10 minutes.
Now, my boss, of course, with Justice Appear, Michelsonko. I'm if a kitty commander or sapata, the Michia Nana Commander 8 on my hand of commander, and now Mokotuna Michel Enybury. Or sapata, there, you being a unified national development agenda. Or your plan, a policy framework. Oman yabo shadow na yede tumpun another yazabo henebra. In there, ye practice democracy. Afe anani biara ya kokoto amba. Botu abende every 4 years abansesa ye done. Tumisi Oman Ghana. Now say na yenyi a unified national development plan agenda. Jumeza aban ishase we koju baby no sabanse saba bonde bi no baba no na weje ato na oyo man so ni sika na ye shed dem dwumezi na ase ije to a na se echi ni sana babo so da na wo ka no otumpo 1000% increment into ye here and it should be a long term them President Mahamak a long term policy. Maybe the next 20 years, 30 years or 40 years. Now, you commit as a nation. Amount of money you being here is the jumotidam. And it should be specific. Ebazi in the next 20, 30 years. You pay the year education sector. Ebazi in the next 10, 20 years, you pay the agriculture sector, the health sector. So that if the next 5, 10 years, you reach just 4 critical sectors of the economy. Education, health, agriculture, and probably roads. After that, we can now set another target for the next 10 years. There, in the next 10 years, yes, and abaye A, B, C, D. E noze impuntu beden. Zbaba sabansisa sisa even 1 year, 2 years upa. Yenye mini shishin ya nebo unde yes. Omani sikano. Zayen na ya ji atumi there ya find the juman na what better obezi amen. We've had several commissions. I think there's the need to consolidate all these efforts together. Yankani nambo. One specific direction ya ko. Oya no busy Ghana beyond AIDS zaba. Obizi Ghana at 100. Now have Vision 20, then Vision 2025. Can we sit down, synchronize all these visions together? Yam pick critical areas, ingredients. Na yemfinzi juba. Me feed of the impuntu. It will bring about what we call coherent national development. Yen kado in the next 10 years, yen kada yabo yeno wabo. Because say your target, your framework, blueprint you follow as a nation. The taxes are the natural resources are nature. Nyame is the archer of Manganan. Nyan mineral resources, black gold, the bauxite, and what have you. The water resources, the forest resources, timber, and a whole lot. And because the national blueprint, we are not maximizing, getting the maximum benefit from the utilization of these resources. Now, it's a nature, all these resources, the human resources, so critical. Do we have the human resource? Are they competent? Again, the education. Don't we have universities training the human resource, the doctors, the nurses, the engineers? We have all these things. But because of the lack of a focus, that is why we are suffering. And then the technology. Eba kwan na ye fada. Yes, this is Juma. Or what? Yan health, education, road construction, and what have you. And can we adopt efficient technology? Ye botu ya call amanaze. Ye question kwana. What fada? Why you want karo kwana? By 20, 30 years upon the potholes in Bawa. Kwana one primary produce or harvester and what on their raw state, and now they try to add value, process the gold before sending such product onto the international market. And so we can go and learn the technology, how other nations are fast are developing, and the utilization of these resources. Although blessing as a moment Ghana. If you're young water bodies, you watching your academic paper you can say, or the insure Brian other wire in Dome Amaya. Yan natural gold, bauxite, timber, the black gold, all your end the UT, or the insure Brian, and now or the in Dome Nozabro man Ghana. Leadership is critical over here. See, any leadership that will galvanize the human resource, the human effort. Obey again. Say you were national development planner. You won't call for what done, what direction there. Honey, ye in year to an amanda or man yarokwa. Homo impuntable. We need a focus, a direction, and a strategy, and policies and programs if we want to develop. I think aside that you need a blueprint, a national blueprint for our development, the frequent change of policies is on woman Ghana. Brian this year, February 2016. You see, schools, secondary schools, 200. Yamin Yankano Kuyentin, yes, shape yase. But Abanse Sabano, for 8 years, all those e-blocks in with Jaguar. And after 8 years, yasana ba shase. Until you call ya another ya be. Ya kese, umofama double track than one. But because the obi 8 years, omanu, young focus there, here is school done, was secondary school level. No. Yet the one problem no wa. Abeni fufre wabe, or if you cannot other question no why. The hospital project, not previous administration, John Mahama, usher several hospital projects in this country. Nanka and you saw with that Bansi Sabano, Nana do name people, but what ready we and son what once a cat for. Yaka say, Zoman pain, John Mahama shas that the Ogo. Nazan and Abdu didn't say, Nus Ogo. 8 years in the Benfosun, if 8 years Ogo Chum code as a nation. What have we gained? So the frequent discontinuation of economic policies has not helped us as a nation. It's all because of the partisanship politics that we do, the over-politicization of economic policy. Send the Oya Party A Noza Benti will try to do everything to negate it. Na ye just at all, but ye for the Oya taxpayer nisika. Na what the cashier do me jinase. Inti say abanfo fra ba me gender o man pain awa bedwa mahama or resetting what agenda. Na ye de yame so ase de wa hyebo de agenda 111 na o man pain na do dan kwa akofa de hyase no. Obowie ansa na wa hyefo Friday ase. Za nalanka so hyase ozifi power 20 December 2016 obahwe we completing. I think this is the direction we're supposed to go. The idea in Sakano, you're from the area, and Sana Yasha for France. In the education sector, yeah, be so. Schools say how many secondary schools in here? There are man. How many public universities in here? I know your universities and Kofu assisting, your best is someone nazing. No man here. Another danke 8 years ago. No. Nana do a bank ozi eko ana ebien beze kan. The free SHS hwenu nkofodo do a in the work university. The traditional universities, do they have the capacity to absorb kids transiting from the secondary school education? Nti ya boyan ho abor 8 years ya boyan ho abor another young boyan ho abor. Nti we need this national development plan so that we will determine as a nation how many public universities do we need, how many secondary schools do we need, of course, as an economist, so population increase, some of these things, you can't put figures to them. Once population increases, there will be the need to build more schools. But in the interim, looking at the country's population, now in national policy, now about 8 or so, I think there should be a concerted effort to build schools, to build secondary school universities, build roads, right? Then the corruption. Corruption. Oh, 5 minutes. Then we inflate projects, government projects. Into our National Development Commission now, I'm sure that all these contracts, how much are we to spend in a classroom block? But you just politicians be one inside them 8 years ago now. What is the kind of project now so overpricing? And they give the contract to unqualified companies. Agenda 111 for 8 years. No more coupon you are working where we are back at Ghana for your home for so. Is it that one farmer, a competent contractor? Another second one call. But a project, or whether it is scheduled to another chassis. Scanning you also miss hospitals 111. Where is the money coming from?
The agenda 111 was trace cut to the $150 million or so. Okay. Yeah. For the agenda 111.
For 111 hospitals. So you're planning here. Okay, 111 million okay. What to I mean 2 hospitals or 3 hospitals. Then in 3 years, you 3 hospitals. How many do we need more? But if for 111 million, as we are quoting, to
150
million to build 11 hospitals, which is impossible, then we are only wasting our time. And so then people actually wasted our time.
Okay.
Wrong contract assigned, short-changing the Ghanaian taxpayer. We signed wrong contracts. And so when we have this blueprint national policy, all these diseases, national diseases that NPP impose on us, I'm sure we'll be able to deal with. In the next years ahead of us, I think we need to. And yanka in this year, it's not abema. Mimda embeba by befi abenum. But aban fufu bi ababebiano or suffered there. Them project a year on campaign establishing national development plan framework. So NDSO or MPP or PPP ebabeno about there then. Yet in fine now was in concussion. You party biaba. Za oman ye tintime go under ye peda in the next 10-20 years or in ababomuno. Ya beden ye busy.
Okay. So it was the startup fund for Agenda 111 was $100 million. That is the startup fund for Agenda 111 project. Yeah. And man Sam. And how many hospitals Antimansa, as a nation, always we need to get new crop or set of people to think for us in terms of development.
Because it's kana yenya wagana hano. Yeah. One your political party be anis kenti oma one kasa what the one policy ni ba later no. What a problem. Ahana samani wo. Anyway there anytime be amenya konya make sure any policy have advantage and disadvantage. That's advantage in there sikane baba start a project no. But disadvantage in the yen to me because of time no. Ena otodi bi muso. Nko for way project wa benim na ye project e dey hwe wo time e bi o kan be 6 months na we fi abema na banana okaka to sold to the months na e da so akobo fom abe time na project na be den e be wi na constitution so kan chen dey chin ruling government no some election or the Ghana for some man akwanye don tina do constitution kada mencha Ghana for also 4 years. See, after 4 years, no same beji na Ghana for na wash your womb wasn't bo. No was some work at you, Anna. But yen came win there. Sans Kwame Nkrumah Bredo, Nenza a project is cheerful on yende. Current president, okay. Also, Sans Nkrumah Bredo. osaje funa bredo them projects was no chano oye Ghana for ya ne yerba no ya bezi aha no de yehwe
bani no sha sinti aban foforo ba osida no so all focus on different things
with that policy na yeze bana ya ba catch ran ko for there say mama kwanya mama ba mama odamazi ti sa kwanya ne ba opedo ye fast na ne promise na o making oyeden ozido say ye dama ye boy man na abor come na tasa ye boy man na abor since coming kroma na bredo na say ye Ghana projects or the one she fuma o serious me Ghana is abeji fanwuzi atasa current president Kenya ana Ghana jabeji fanwuzi but still was a man still with that busa ye project mo shefuma o yare ho yazokoto changing of government aba mesi so ben ye be election ana 92 na start election till 92 na started the year to abana your practice democracy no and after 92 no bia ye project o Ghana that project no wa ye no o wa hin o sani de o ye nizi no de eden o de ye into odo na abroad na nkwete no odo ya na ye wie so ne ya beto ya baka de abani ye tueda membu aban o ye tueda membu them blame ye ya kan wan say me to me blame one a party we rule Ghana or all the parties no we rule Ghana one ya them blame no ko because that's all them parties ni nara why the project a fan when we make changing of government by party for no baba handle so onto muntuedo because no so bad original policy that policy no only no why a problem am Ghana for other yet ask them or send us original policy riba or make sure the policy no zerba no or read it or resido into oba no bota obey problem. Yeah, see, my brother for the cast for the and do baby. Okay, agenda 111. What's one set budget to be around fun to Anna, but we'll quote his scatu. That's kind of quote if you want. What the two okay in 18 months. What to be commission only a first issue. Show. And a previous government also if you are beaming. No, so that time, no, so we can see ye blog in BSC in time one. Anna. Was in time changing of government to be 8 years. And then it's in time 8 years higher than Wasu. I can say, Yaman, or Yan Adum, my papa and another about a beam no can obey free SHS. I in time ye blog no so but to myself that community. We saw 8 years we're wasting. I see a can once me a bobusa near this Damadano. Or check that time in the busseling ya while we waste. You come let us into this government in good the same thing agenda 111 abe. Agenda 111 what's in 18 months? 18 months no. What's some 2 months and son wolf abe man? No. Which is 4 years or 3 years. When 2 men one commission be me muda or set. Say commission done. Pan na bibiara anima en commission de no. O send a done commission down no munyama owom. Says to school done. Na zema mo from na dam panis wo na egu anima abofo na kwa kaire. O ka je on we shada na kaire. O de egu sim. Ti me wo so ye Ghana fo ye ne yerbo. O da that fo hwe wo na wo me hu adrum na adrum no to wo de me yenum ni ye ma obo he no. Tembia wasi mobobusa abeni boss yakaji busa yezi a project says mama no we start a project okasi Commander Sugar Factory o commission at time 30th May which is 2016 you no problem or what's why maintenance we bobe in November onye nende ye kan wasemi abeskele with this Commander Sugar Factory $35 million, Anna. Be said in 8 years, so commission or ye Juma, and wafan confirm where ye Juma, na ke yakese so sugar yakrafi bi ne mando ma obo mo woni edin why then wakofom magana yankasa so yes the enza ba fia yes ko bi ne mando come na make an sir in 2019 people will see a deni bi was some mempiasa medna mempiasa atabaza mempiasa nkromo what's boat and not building be we see ochele obeye ohoma nkofo water krade obe serve central region as I see some Korean kids no way boat and not
or see factory or
this was this year
or boat and not
damena meeting
was
this year
for the construction industry and then the mechanical industry.
When is the main bisa? Mention that me, but me the factory is all commission. 50
time more commission based on me bring one trouble and not to come.
Me win the way you don't get to know where you tomorrow. Come near one. So you Yeraba or one other or you saw. With when you're bending my arm or waka, no baby more than America. Young papa saw boyfriend and Zama waka fumina way. Oh yeah, some papa.
Policies are what they be na policies are what they be na ye besi eyi da di din ye za ko ye se yi da di din ana
na wa ka so tell me so want me there old relation year obaka da point azaye kofi kinata kan on se hwe oni yo azasa tell us no sorry che the e no to me ye to point azaye na wo hwe won to aba mo nti no nam de mo waye dem na no
Ghana fu ne ye demand there wala be na ya abaze na no so a kire me ja me ba mi si
Ghana fu ne
o ye dwumo on ye dwumo we si
Ghana fu na ye demand na dem Ghana fu na ye demand no at the end of the day Ghana fu na ne say ka say the unemployment rate we should console to say you be so dey a ya abaze mayen na say see na kwam na dey see na so be ye dwuma wan ye dwuma na boa emana aha na problem no aha dey na problem no because yeri yazina wo kwa mane wo ana ye kase siare se ebedina se we see fishing processing unit wo ana e wono no ye baby mo fam wo bobolo wo sua apomezan na e wan wo kran no won be na zo no edina tim wo papa face edina tim wo papa ena yan papa John Mama or kade the way ya enamane ba oye edina so na enam bu first na enam bu ebi kompano na na nyama budure tre enifa no nya baby mfa ne na me nsa freja otutu fom ahwem na oze hye ho na okata ade che we butu aro ho ata onban ti demani na kam na nkofore ka je mo man pay ya that oti no no dameda or basra ikurora na wenya asase bi na wesi edan na ozama edina na waye there fishing processing unit atasa ntanamana yinya na ye ya store bi wo eho na wesi bi so with the fishing processing unit na kan wasam no kesi there later on changing of government be MPP wo be ana MPP ben wunya akonya wo so be landing beach and
harbor. What's a harbor?
Harbor.
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 Yeah, harbor. What's a harbor? That is the project name, harbor.
I am
na Messi. I will be that is fishing harbor.
It's a fishing harbor.
I am na Messi. The project name.
The project name is
Elmina Fishing Harbor.
Elmina Fishing Harbor.
Yes.
Yo, Marty. Elmina Fishing Harbor. Eh? In MPP when you akwanya we see was a medina.
Yes.
Na Elmina Fishing Harbor. Fishing processing unit no siwaro.
Onye ni na share wo.
Brother, we siwaro obo home. Why do you kunai? Bodam pakrodo. But still fishing processing unit. Won juma ye juma. Aba problem na ye wo. I see any fishing harbor. Etasa. Now fishing processing unit wo wa. And now many yenya one. You told me a store bi wo ho.
All right.
I mean you cross the season of epona. You told me a Tony bi wo ho. Me yenki fa ya kwatema. My problem in there. Why there?
yenya kwanya na ye betina bengo no da ebia ne project a wa ye de wono abano ontum ntuedo
all right
aha ne problem
anti
my son papa John mama si de akwanya abama obo tuedo Ghana fanyi bibi akọ me wa kind na ye rehwe
all right
ye rehwe because e be ye free there ye were 24-hour economy wo wa odo ye adwuma my sis ara eh
I say I had 12 minutes, but I say, Mama Aziz Akwaba. Aziz Akwaba. Bibi Aboko.
I don't experience over there.
Yeah, me I see. Using common, I mean, in the 8th National Development Planning Commission President will inaugurate. I mean, now Ghana, you need development. And you find you ni nyina acquire political gimmicks obiaba ni ordinary policy but we rolling it out you oko for fraba dama where are we heading to?
All right, senior, what the government here at TFA would take Kastle FM and that one I see because when you are I see you in Timinja if you name chair TFA would say if I bring now I'm saying chair party paying for our film mantum into the Cape Coast North and South. Chairman of the party, Cape Coast North, Chairman Steve Kudain. Now, Nimpin far when you want to Juma. Menchia, the Almighty Pablo, grassroots Messiah. Namenchia, Mam Papa, Uncle Sedu, Nana me, and the means a pain. Sidia, Menchia, Minimia, in brave about home. Mr. Payne. He's also a social commentator. So I had a talk or any second crime I ended. On a more serious note, what's I'd say no, it's a good initiative. Yes. And over the years, read the political class, a manifesto into beer. Ma osha opedo ye ball mano not no draft no ni man ko contract it is a manage to ma na wa to aba every political party PPP NPP NDC every party be afide bia yem fa na ye kwadina be fido offer baka na obodo adina be so fido offer pedu a obodo adina be so fido bia offer efutu and anka fra obodo adina I know Puntuna. But I didn't say my John Mahama Kenya. The development plan, the foundation, or Jinjina, Maobi, or to honor the same NDC funeral. Okay, that's where my problem is. Because when I was going through, I read Ghana Beyond 80. I'll be what I'm saying. And you know, I mean, when they were in opposition, saying, you are working for Ghana Beyond Aid. Today, the president is saying there, the National Development Plan, it should be built on Ghana Beyond Aid. I hope you get what I'm saying. It should be built on Ghana Beyond Aid. Now, I think that
as our money be self-sufficient.
Yes. So that is what we were doing in government. There be enka outside enka che do mega gra enka che grant wa ha enka je busa wa ha na ku for be no ayanka sa yenti ye hu yembu ye man asese no oya wa dozo.
But through all that MPP you went in for grants, you went in for loans.
That is it. Mm-hmm. No loan.
If we are going on that tangent, even your Ghana Beyond Aid policy now on our debate no crown no one can say when they do, and we are as we are talking before NPP won free office, we were under IMF. So where is that Ghana Beyond Aid?
See, say obi kede IMF. What does it mean? Let me use a very simple let me use a very simple scenario. I'm a teacher. And the young find that Musumi Bia will contribute mutual fund. Every month I pay money to the mutual fund as a member of the mutual fund. That's a month. the mutual fund, being a member of the mutual fund. Soon be able to contribute to no watching to one must be 5,000 cities. That doesn't mean them. When you give me loan, it means that money will be paid back. So you can't control me.
But IMF program will pay back. Don't
yes,
we?
Yes, you pay.
Yes.
Yes. If you go for a facility, you are part of that body. You don't be a IMF. You are part of it. You're a contributor. You are part of it. It is a watch that you go there for a bailout. That doesn't mean that they will control you. They come in to help you manage your economy. That doesn't mean that. But when you go for grants, that is where you are being controlled. When we were in government, the same people now, because of LGBT, they've been in government for about 5-6 months. What is happening? Because they know when they sign untum kasre, and I commend the president for taking this initiative. But my only problem is that the things that you were chastising, saying there on your papa or to the me or to go, you are saying that we should build on that legacy. I hope you get what I'm saying. We should build on that legacy. Ghana beyond a friend, Ghana at 100 development plan. Then they are saying Vision 2057. All these are development plans are what you go at Queenum. And you are saying we should build on it. Another mean you see, all our problems are being channeled to infrastructural development. You see, all our problems are being channeled to infrastructural development. But if they also have other type of development, human development. So we in NPP, when we were in power, we thought there, say, on money, but when you we say on how to build our country. Because if you put up structures, next thing you put a woman when you need to use her. Today you see a dustbin, nobody to go outside. You go share ball or stadium. What should we hold? Nobody find you all. I get what I'm saying. So if we are able to utilize the infrastructure very well. So we thought it was today. Okay, let's blend the two. Ghana is kind of now way enza. Inti eti be your car kwano, need to be minimum of school free. Inti when you humesia oba the infrastructure so they will make good use of the infrastructure. Inti what I am saying is that Mesre, this area free senior school wire basai. This area education wire basai Mesre. What share or friend social amenities so what share education.
Aziz Mamimbi some actually National Development Commission 4 thematic areas they are building on to develop this nation: social development, economic development, environmental development, institutional development, and governance. Per your assessor, as a nation, these 4 thematic areas, have we as a nation done well in these areas?
Yes, I if say may assessor, I will rate this country low average. Low average. Even there, you see, when you compare this country to the developed countries, in terms of age, and do
but they are far ahead of us.
That is how the world is. That is how it is. But you see, when you read about the Industrial Revolution in the late 70s, 60s, the European Esha, Moya first thing there was say they was train the youths, giving them education, both cognitive and skilled and book, giving them training. Then they came back for the Industrial Revolution. A down come near laptop home. Then the government to come in. into Oma, then government to inject money to expand it. And so you realize that they got a lot of companies. Then the youth now, also got jobs to do. That is what we in ABP we started. You know, the Wright brothers. What you say, you know where I am. Your class 2 so the Wright brothers, class 2. What year you play nowhere? I know where you 2. In there, Airbus are over 5,000.
Is it not a shame that Ghana be a bedre? Now we can't talk of a well blueprint policy as a nation, policy guide as a nation. I know that the 40 years development plan in 2017, that was when the 40-year development plan ended. Now going forward, you need a blueprint we are following that the next 20 years, this is what we want our education to be. Agriculture, this is what we want it to be. Our health,
no, in terms of sector, there are plans. Sector by sector, there are plans. But as a national...
Yes, I'm talking about the national...
That is the problem. That's what you just said, the 40 years ended 2017.
Yes.
And that's what I said. I commend the current president for instituting this. The younger boom. Let's get a national development plan. And on you're too late. When you're too late. But my only problem is what I just told you. On you're too late. Obi, somebody will build something, then you come and continue build upon it. In the economy and the economic, we started a copy abroad. Every district should get a factory. The can then we expand. In terms of infrastructure, in terms of development in the room too, human development or infrastructural development. Let's blend the two. Going for my pede in what your plan on. Let's factor the two. As we develop then we develop infrastructure so that because infrastructure is a it will be if there are no infrastructure, that's a developing in Australia. A former school, what should free out to the master's level? Into your school, no, on by a burden to the community or to the society. And that was what we were doing. Let's train our people. Let them get the skill in so that they wouldn't be a burden to the society. So good. It's a nice way. It's a nice way, but
okay.
Let's factor human development.
Okay.
Like what the NPP was doing.
All right. Aziz made us say, Father, Mema Aziz, 4 thematic areas. That is according to the National Development Planning Commission. Environmental development, institutional development and governance, economic development, social development. I mean, access from where you sit at these areas. And you find as a nation, we need a top up. More 5 minutes now.
5 minutes. But before the LGBTQI bill, no. So Parliament here, the member no to that's a president and foreign sign shasa. It dies with that parliament. And so you're there on my pain Mahama and finance in shasa. Now my pain so no. One kada we should continue with agenda Ghana beyond it. What's the consolidation of all efforts, all the visions and missions. It's a minion kadamana or tumfutu Ghana for Honeyo. What is the problem of Ghana that need to be solved? We need to know that. Yes, if you're not able to identify our needs, our wants, our problems, what are we solving? And how are we going to solve that? So it's important we identify the problems that are facing us and what are our needs, critical needs. In terms of social development, we've done a bit, because the member was being a It's about social development. Oman on the moon here, Sikenti, Yentum Yenjin, and the no Damazi Yenjintum. So, in all the spheres of development, we are handicapped. Muntu means some there after 60 years or so. Ya bomwazin wahama no. Yabaka no kono. Environmental development. Look at how do we have environmental sustainability? How have we used our water resources? How have you benefited from the crude oil, the gold, the natural resources? Nil. The forest reserves, nil. So we need to actually sit down and plan how our environment, you be utilizing now or by a benefit is our man. We failed in that. Institutional development, very critical. Our institutions are not strong. They are not independent, easily influenced by politics and highly partisan. And so we need to also have special frameworks, laws that will govern our institutions and make our institutions strong and independent. We are also lacking in that. Economic development, worse, because in the Ghana, so in Kofu Pejuma when yen roads after 60 years, we cannot boast of our roads. We can't boast of our hospitals. We cannot boast of our hospital. In the Oman Penyibi Yara Tampanara, now Amando was no call Amanaze, right? Yen debt, public debt, you produce Ibn Zaman, you produce Womayu. Ibn Zaman, you produce. Manufacturing sector is zero. The agriculture sector, Oman Yamia, it done yet to me, you pay. Next they brought to assassin dining obefife. No, so you cry a bro, you cry onion tomatoes. Yes, Russian Ukraine war. In Zaman no buyers, in Zaman no buyers, and if be into and bring me traders in EP. Because once supply demand exceeds supply, prices will go up. So we need to have a deliberate investment as far as economic. Let's invest in agriculture. What in the next 5 years, you're going to invest to agriculture to produce more, to bring food prices down. Because our commerce in Yana, or commerce is in bed about chrono. In think man 2 years old, in that Abaya Shaza, and cook conquering the bobas in our Australia. And cook conquering kitty program record. Meaning farmers are burning 1 month. Resources are what producer.
You could get to Washington.
Oh, really? Some parts of the country. I think that it should be nationwide. Rice cultivation, maize or cereal cultivation, all these things have started out. I know in the next harvesting will be somewhere in August, right? So by December, I want to believe that you will have enough food in the system locally. And that would force prices down. Nti yen share is the bansam first. There your amano. Yen enough to feed ourselves and even export them. And then the raw materials that the traditional exportables, gold and what have you, can we add value to them? They be better yeka. But adding value to yen dan nenyi kaka. Ain't dan nenya na yen infu. In think 8 years ago, you was 1 district, 1 factory. Factories in Wahimfa. Factories in Wahimfa. 8 years, them factories was the taxpayers in Sikakeshe. In if an factories in the world. Not banaza porch in them factories in what produces them on Ghana. In the year to go to Ghana, yet to crude oil. Ebas into Yensi in Frank, but then gold in Amayan. Ebas into Yensi in Frank, but then crude oil. Timbano, but then answer as our common in cutting and as it. Burkina Faso. Today they are turning their raw tomatoes into 10 tomatoes. So economically too, we've done a bit, but we still have a long way to go. Right. We need to industrialize. Industrialization is the way to go.
Father Medasi,
not slogans.
Okay.
Not slogans.
Father Medasi, Antimansa, what's no access social development, economic development, environmental development. Environmental development impo access. I mean, if you put you're saying environment no more. I mean, pay assessment and info you drew on these thematic areas.
Kwamina, on na yakano, tras or easy. Tra. But nindu no why asam. Kastle FM. Sebe environmental ye kan wasem. One ka shirt no eji onwuzi de onkwe.
Be fe bi enwura poto. Ye nso poto. Na sa se poto.
Azebiara oye emma no ne project biara. Why a bed na ma team me nyoti. A many projects. Why a bed na ma team me nyoti. And yes, yes, on a Ghana beyond the age, Anna. But still, no, yes, still, no, yes, Mr. Brother. What's a QRTBTW na? Trumo on it. Trumo na some na other parliament to waba pass or one capasso. Me any free SHS no. In 8 years, when 2 man pass on parliament. When 2 man pass. Anna.
But the free education is enshrined in the constitution.
Oh, Massa.
But do we need another law? There, as in our constitution, we need another law to back it before it can be sustained.
Inti, Maman can't show why do you need another law? Neziba comp and Meshebego. Ye need or constitution or embrace him, Anna. Abba as always embrace me. Abba Zintin or there, Saya Madu, as a combreshebo, the case of one bobo. Nay, I judge.
Kastle FM 90.3.
What said a year to minty, Anna? Tell no one breshebo go me bia. That 8 parliament. What to me pass here? When 2 man pass. In Taza or ye gun and need to me no to our banana shazin be a wakasha. My brother was starting cook on Katin Kitty. I mean, who be, but if you no own drew ha. As I say, if you no drew ha, Ghana for you one no soon in cook on Katin Kitto. Today, mo wabadum win your dream or your good thing, the Magani, Ewa. But you say that or your bad thing, Anna. Since you're gone and you be a new son rushing in there. Neba wako suku weko shianzi. Never brother I can a phrase HS. Nanado I be a catcher and another do I man. If you catch another do I man. If you can't trend. By problem in the after school now as in an impanori. A hana summoner. My brother saying this is for sack one for a sack. I wouldn't catch him, tell me, mente. Tis a catch him that. And on a process, what for process to do no was a fun one. Massa, you're Ghana, be uncle Ethiopia.
Aziz, allow him to speak. We are mobile.
Mamma, no enemy, no Lord, you to me, enemy. To come and Casa, no Lord, you to me, as a bayan.
For the benefit of our listeners, for the program to flow into.
Okay, here, Kwamina. Ibiara owo ejuma ma was sacked by this government. Only the one for right channel was a fun. Although to no be saba, if you're sacking us. Anna, oh, yeah, the political party into was shown I was a goom. So, the political party into the was shown when guma. One for channel was a fat uncle for now. Oh, no, when you make it to the effort processing, Anna. But my year kind day. Say, a gun and a baby are to our bodonia no home for soup. Abba for soup or the in your food. Say, I can say rainy season. Abba environmental summer year can you want. You should talk a Caribbean Biana commute because on China flood ever. Or send on ye Juma. And we say, another one someone say Juma na yaka. On ye Juma. Nesi kana wutu swada with the sisi and you find with sisi. You want was a gun obey the best screen city. Anna, why dear? In any day or sending neighbor say and chat to us some was
why a swimming city?
You shy yam, where swim, Melco China Mompa. Oh, yes, serious issue. To the Mazono, encouraging coffee there. Still. One boy campaign wa ha. Wa bra a man who boy campaign wo muno. One for one coffin for a criminal bow. One from call for employing call for Ghana fiano by employing one. Na Ghana fia so azibi wo to sin. because since you can say town council started already in Ejuma. No, bet you my brother. For the cast for but to my brother only mean. Into why and win John. As I say, the same thing as MPP should know what do. And I mean, Samaya at 4 times the board they could baby on Sada music. Or they are not show. They set example. Not someone not see Ghana. On your baby or your border, or baby was a border, was a good. Okay. Not flood and urban, since Ghana is swimming pool. You be all swimming close to a book.
But I say, I tell myself, I will mean in sugar into our boy. Aziz, you share your need gains and the sustainability. One thing that we are not talking about is the sustainability of our gains. With these 4 thematic areas in Ghana, Yambon more than a cry. Yandru baby also the Yadru. But Bia Yadru no, how do we sustain our gains and build upon it?
Sustainability. Let me chip in this time over the previous government, or the BB also one district, one factory, and we're categorizing. We have the green factories, the gold ones, and green and gold. We have Mabana Ankasa, Oreye, now Abano or partner, the private man, Mawai. And Ghana, it produces diapers, it produces pad. So if we want to sustain these businesses, let's say Abani Biaba, our position, also there. Abana Ghana is kind of the shame from school no on yard papa. It's an honorable by any. Very well. Let's move on.
I don't think any person will go work the free such as in yard papa.
Very well. If you are much will be okay about how let's move on. Into say obi on wa ba banum. Now, many also more for be a pad. Now, pad no, your companies or Ghana or your pad nibi. So, if you want to sustain these companies, them skin a time in called China no. We have given it to the local companies to strengthen them, to employ people. You know, employment as well. I tell them skin put you called China. That them can kind of was there China for when a demand and also. So they have factories I employ about 5 and more people. Don't meet the demand, in time. But this money could have been channeled through local production. Now you produce a part, so that we employ more people. Then man can akufa rush be school free, If you want to it may be no head then or yeah. So sustainability, it's a problem. Government is one of one person. You see, you coffee the bay. Most of our districts, most of our regions, you need hospitals. You see, Abani knows, Abani can knows there about 100 and I don't hear about 89 hospitals, there's 2 hospitals, then 88. There's some regions and other ways, so I can 101. Yes, shall see you. So, why a private?
But the president will make it clear that Agenda 111, he will continue with Agenda 111.
He will continue.
Yes.
One can we are continuing. He will continue the priority. Also, he will. Daching. What you do?
we feed the e-blog is one person.
No. If you want to go, I put a e-blog as a e-blog as somewhere. When we came in, e-blogs is see. You continue some. We built. We built. No, I can't sustainability as somewhere. But what's happened for about 5 months? What I could do for about 5 months.
On Jakutia.
But the Minister of Health is taking the salary for the past 5 months. All the allowance, all the salary. You see, all this is notice to work up in time, but they pay and so about you. There are some hospitals going on. In Finland, in Yagum, although post nurses, if you know what's happening, don't care. In GES, in education, a real school, a real school, I go school for years in a year. You serve for a year. A year because of the bond now by what you don't post to. In the I go school for years in a year now. I have a service 1 year no. we have to be posted and say we are go school 4 years say why I say we post about second. That's one for processing. Our process don't from you. Our school area training colleges in nursing, teacher training. They have bondage with government. In our school 4 years area, I rotation, I service 1 year. O clearance about do post to clearance about people are saying 3 years, 4 years. Or any clearance about now for. Ebi about second. As a process, our process don't for baby. Nti obi na put our school area na about for na about cycle no. As not for processing. So if you want to sustain what we've done and what you're about to do, commitment towards in maybe then it should be on top of our list ever prioritize no. Because if I remember the free high school education is it's not part of my area or top priority, I wouldn't sustain it. I hope you get what I'm saying. I say okay, do myself. Yeah, better just the industrialization. And say also who factories ni bi who say no onye Ghana how. And also who factories ni bi. The same thing on him Kenya which ni bi go bono area so baby man. We no mu on kasa go mbiem. John Muhammad na man pay na o kebi. Yeah man pay when was a flag bearer. O kebi there factories no hin no wo che bi go bono baby. So if you want to sustain it, let's prioritize what we do. In this obiba, not the maybe no school you here. Let's start every district to be iron chassis if you're impotent, impotent. Let's on your priority.
Okay.
I want the now the right brothers, which has the way to way too. Neko Airbasa. Why about more than 5,000?
As me that's it. And we say also for message, Baba me some of your messages in be in free one call your name na inzi income. Wow, a bunch of it. I'll try my best to do them. Na call your name. You say. Oh, yes, slow. The E-block school at Intranwa hasn't been completed, so please, we are pleading with the president that he should come and complete the E-block school building for us. Anthony K. Ejir, life is so simpler when you stop explaining yourself to people and just do what works for you. Francis Yatel at Amwanda in KE. Francis Medasi. The dollar is now 11 cedis 86 pesos. So Aban Papa Jude from Simeon. Jude Medasi. President Mahama will surely provide us jobs. We trust him. I'm Kofi T from Tamisase electoral area. Greetings to Lawyer Charles Kweku Kwanzaa. Tell the MPP man that there was no policy called Ghana Beyond Aid. Ghana Beyond Aid was just a slogan. Tell him to show one policy, Ghana Beyond Aid. Policy on Ghana Beyond Aid. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Host. I want to ask, the committee which drafted the National Development Plan, is the MPP people among them? If not, it will not work because the MPP will not sit down for NDC to develop a plan for them to come and build on. The idea of going forward as for National Development Plan is not in the minds of NPP. The previous one Mahama drafted, unfortunately, they lost power. When NPP came into power in 8 years, they couldn't follow it. They threw it away. I believe it will be difficult for one party to draw national development plan for another party to come and implement it. We must think twice. I'm Samuel from Kotokraba. Samuel, this is the same conversation. Can't we have, a national body working towards that rather than party biaba another abani biaba or select a people to draw a national plan? When the man work from their manifesto implementing the same, it wouldn't help. We have more than 20 universities nationwide, but we can't manufacture even matches, even toothpick. We can't make it. If so, what is the use of our technological universities like KNUST? Anke Paul from Bakano. Anke Paul made us say, menhwe eyinso ewa ha. na yenko yenenim ankra to di biaba. To be fair, NBC has commissioned 4 Agenda 111 recently. Okay, so once you have commissioned Agenda 111, 4 of the Agenda 111 recently. All right. And my brother, no media house captured it, and even NDC itself has not put on social media. So you are talking about the Nkukong. It's a lie. Which part of the country has they start the distribution? Ask him to mention that. What's Nkukong? Why shall I say it? All right. Also, you think a policy like Ghana Beyond Aid is just within 8 years or an event, please? Okay. All right. There are a lot of messages about on the project 10 clinics commissioned by the NPP government. Kuku Ajimamenu commissioned them. Anka to me that say for your message. Ebusha also for Zebra 0244 408 046 0244 408 354. I think the national development agenda in communism, we need to continue it another time. Now, using Komo as patriotic people. Yepede yemani oko yenenim. Onkede obi the national development dialogue club ebinim si yanko. But as you may say Frodo, just 5 minutes now. Yanko yenenim. Your flag bearer, the former president of the republic. Yes, the former vice president of the republic, your flag bearer, recently occurred London on some section of the NPP during the thank you tour in London. I mean, I point to apologize for the 2024 election performance. But still, you are saying that Ghana will be MPP for being a 1 to me there. Ghana for one per MPP to go beyond 8 years or second one.
Zidia, constitution is clear. When we elect a flag bearer, he becomes the leader of our party. In the 2024, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he was the leader of the party. Now, Odi party ni enyim na ekoku. Na ekoku nkuku obey. Now, reflecting on our gains and our losses, we're here there as the former leader of our party. The original party name. Now, ma one koye biar opacho, and it's a step in the right direction because as a leader, we the jawar of that yo. The Mami Aziz, Mami Yeti party. Ma obi a wabra obi a wo info ma nya ye ma wan kwe party mu bia no e wo dey offer sua no janya ya name na opacho nti ma ye no it's a right step na ehwe you see politics and elections science and data maths you see 2024 election 2020 elections Eshe voter NPP yen. Eshe voter NDC yen. Eshe the total number of voters or casting or the whole Ghana. Let's compare 2024. Even the 2024 a new registration. It's a number to be better than overcome. Ataza. Eshe the voter NDC yen. Yen Bampin John Drummond Mahama. Vote on yen. Let your voter Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You realize that I didn't vote no do then. Sorry, there was a shortfall because maintaining me in 2020 could have won the elections. Say me in 2020 na maintaining you would have won the elections. I hope you get what I'm saying. I know a woman at Abra. Oye NPP ni buefu abrogom amoto aba also onkoto on to aba no NDC but on to aba no kra because of PBB ni say nkenti ni buefu. And in politics there is apathy.
There was an internal apathy.
Yes. most of our members, Mr. There say, vote in 2020, in 2024, they would have won elections because Mama Hammer, it wasn't close to what we had in 2020. We would have won elections. So I there, Ghana phone pen, Mr. Aransi and party for now be now 1 or 2 abano because they were baby and Koye baby or saying get a buffet then. The very reason why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia original party na name because the 2024 he was the leader of our party original party na name them obia ye bia no why then apacho and me I see it to be something that is good Akufo-Addo I think 2009 Oyebi after we lost 2008 elections he being the former leader of the party or shall I say from region to region original party na name odo bia say wan koye bia opacho. I'm going to say 2024, the same thing happened. Then we won elections. We were in power for 8 years. It is important for the leader of the party to move around, to apologize and thank everybody for their no commitments towards the party. And the party will force to be more join. While I would not pay. You are tempted, they will jump baby. In the obey here, the of say, baby, leaders of our party will come around, we talk to people to calm tempers down, then we share the next vision.
Okay.
I'm painted all this year, John Mahama, so ye be. When Kusimucho reports simple, what kind of one can no one reports in way. He moved around to thank people and to apologize. So there's something I don't see it to be any. But okay. Yes, Bawumia has done a good job. All right. Yes.
What shall I say? You know, kutukuna bros karamen kebi.
We sometimes fight to agree and disagree.
Okay.
And so that is how it is. Also, imagine, also, I mean, I'm just imagine also for the Kastle. I mean, I know for the Kastle or not, but. Ain't no one kind of but anybody now kind of
I didn't even say Father, but within just 3 minutes per minute day on your Dr. Bawumia, yeah,
I same yeah, but Ozikano, when I leader or MPP, is the national chairman who is the leader of the New Patriotic Party as they are in opposition, or the flag bearer? You see?
But me feel that so when you flag bearer automatically obey the leader of the party at that particular time.
I said the party is in opposition now. So who is the leader of the New Patriotic Party?
The chairman is the leader. Yeah.
But our president today, Bawumia is the leader. Look, no cause I'm there in the
for our
the former leader.
Yes, leader of the party.
That is the flag bearer of the party.
2024 no leader, so he's the former leader of the
party. Empire, ye mubi mi ye bo NDC. Yezi akwenche kraba bete yechi. In the Bawumia beye MPP flag bearer biem. Hwe when I opede wo contest Mahmoud Bawumia, mu da won pay MPP won asa. Opede MPP party no go.
How?
Opede party no go. No, you have a flag bearer.
So no, every time we him.
Yes, but was now kokoda. Na so mu baba sisa no. Was katan kofu bi achi apart from Canada Japan no, umbi so wareba. But ma catch MPP there. Look. Nipa osafa teda ozi MPP call election 2028. Yeah, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Tamu be yan wadwen there.
Na I will never choose a leader more.
That is Messi ye beye akwanche ye bobom pe na ye disika crashem azi oboto ama Bawumia. Is Bawumia an MPP person? Mahmoud Bawumia ye MPP ya.
I saw ye MPP ni. Ye MPP ya kontum ye one flag bearer. Kontum ye vice president.
What role did he play in the defeat? Why is he trying to isolate himself from the mess? So NPP is apologizing and not you, Bawumia. Hey, is that the NPP no apologize? Oh, that the NPP did so many wrongs in government. Why is he trying to isolate himself? shouldn't the apology to Guinea Father, me talking now, call me some Father McCain. What the so?
Father, face him up.
I think that Baumia Bapa MPP supporters, chow, the one venture party, that apology should go to Ghanaians. Or that what Pagana for chow. Now, Papa MPP supporters, now this nation was bankrupt under the leadership of Mahmoud Baumia. Ghana became bankrupt.
Are you sure?
The economy was classified as the worst performing economy in the world. As the head, Pacho is in power 2024. He was the leader because he was the flag bearer. And I'm telling you, as a leader of the party and head of economic management team, you want to just talk to me. But the fact I want to put there, the economy under Mahmoud Baumia was classified among the worst performing economies in the world. All the macroeconomic matrices showed terrible deterioration. Exchange rate, it was what? 17 plus Ghana's to $1. In the Jomahama Abam and the 12 Ghana cedis, 90 pesos to $1. And then now, Nancy, MPP did so many wrongs. What are some of those wrongs? I know, you know, if you know. Inflation, we had hyper galloping inflation. 54%. Mahmoud Baumia. Today, your vice president or a language expert who has anything about economics. But as Nano Pokwajiman, head of economic management team, say, dollar at 12 17 about 12 about 11 cry.
But MPP only $15 in year 17.
No, yeah.
It was around 15 CDs.
What 3 CDs? No, what do cry 3, 4, 5. All the capping 15.
Yes.
No. Now what do you feel? 4, 5. All the capping 15. It's an achievement. Now you want no pokajman now 1 year economics. $1 FE 15. Other by 11 a year.
So that the fact is that when MPP was leaving office, the dollar was not 17.
Well, 4. No, the capping.
The fact is, when MPP
from 4 was to 15. No, I'm speaking the same language. Okay. 4 to 15 as an economist too. In the look,
Father, I say.
I say me mama mambo
But Meba, A is from the President of the Republic. Because of what you said that we just bankruptcy, that is why I've pulled out this story. Now, there's some part there. The NPP government will just bankruptcy. I see cities surge backed by $10 billion reserves. This is Mahama. President John Dramani Mahama has attributed the recent rebound of the Ghana cedi to the robust foreign exchange inflows and deliberate policy measures aimed at establishing the economy. According to the president, the improved performance of the local currency is largely supported by the strengthened gross international reserves, which has surged from $8.9 billion in December 2024 to $10.6 billion by April 2025. He noted that this upward trend reflects growing investor confidence and enhanced external financial buffers. Speaking at the opening of the Ghana EU Business Forum in Accra on Tuesday, May 20th, President Mahama highlighted the government's determination to meet its economic growth target for the year.
You're bankrupt, eh? Well, manage Ghana economy in such a way that now you into debt obligations.
Okay.
That's the bankruptcy I'm talking about.
All right, you. Marty. Anjamasa.
Unemployment was over 60%.
Anjamasa, yeah, 3 minutes na yanko Dr. Baumia.
Dr. Baumia no oracle to. Yeah. It should be possible.
We could pay more London this year.
We could pay more English abridged me. Ana no oracle there. Offer kwenye nedo. Na wapa na party faithful for. Chow. no asanso ada wana si so tede yo MPP fu wankasa wo fi asemu ana ibianim the reason why or pecho ena two
pecho da wan bo ho modin bia wa report all
nya beta echo na Ghana for yakade ni mo ni fi asem na America and sana ba na asem oyeden okay no do nkofa nto aba abazinti na nkofa nto aba so party members anto aba reason ti na want to aba because muchia na yin na shem na wusin fimereba no ndawa no jada yin no fault bi aba baby another buchia no atasa nti aba problem pa na wo ho ma MPP for want to aba 2016 ya to aba what Ghana to aba for change. One say you need to me that you two about for MPP. You two about for change. Because 2016 in you was doom so. Tina confer Kastle about to doom so. Today tina you change government. Near for new government in Banana and tell you margin or na no Australia. 2024. Young vice president. When you are going baby a flag bearer as my party no election. The way a MPP for 1 month no do was share no. The 2024 no. Bianim the MPP win Bianim the MPP win because yen vice president no be flag bearer. Me we free come as some as be kind part time e pede e di levy ban. O katina wo sister station Peace FM. O ka the tax poor bokodo ayeden. Why poor? At the end of the day no ye levy eden obey. Then your party for no wakasa. And in the grassroots of MPP, 1 2 aba is because the young papa or Sajifu can offerata 80 MPs in our so embraceable gomuno. What kind of one sack young papa can offerata because what can no constituency in some of you wabano are too much. No, what's what IMF? I know into one share no we are. Later 18 back-on. They were 138 and 137 cross 1. No, back-on 138. Tis a 138. Now 98 sorry, I hear na waka. Tell when that this election, 2024 election, one majority in parliament, I want the word so cry. Because that constituency, you know, were Kasa about a main bunu moria that oracle. Tis a party members who want to aba mo work the word demanding into no 1 2 aba. The word demanding then. Me wa party. Me peda me party no okatina ego no do. No 2 me na mo so me nya adwuma ye me nya biaye. Na me demanding 1 cup of rice into man to aba mama party. Oh you wrong. 100 cedis into man to aba. Oh you wrong. But the problem is, as some show show down when you are. Show down until partner Casanum Yaden or che. Show down yan show yan show down Medania Wako. Thank you, Tosha. Show down for Swasana baby. Anna. So to the partner Casa order what's no what she show when you may.
All right.
So be the one she send ye. This time around, this party, MPP party. A young papa Bawumia or a party member on your position because a collection. Need your party is in a collection. After that, or there be party, infimo, a bear member. I had the position, but I just say chairman. To see a party MPP chairman, say kept go south to her. One chairman, other watch her person, only the owner of the party.
Yes.
Echo MPP so damara. But only the leader.
Yeah.
To see the leader. Although who there leader no na says no today but yeah the or pachono another or das no wireman
okay
because the election it's a
only the election
only the party no election
no Lucy
it was not pacho no short coming no baby but na short coming no nya no
okay
o shall not to win ye me
and
no so no right na
all right may I say Ebusha ma mema unsu bremi bi 0244408046 0244408354 wa so bremi bi na yenzin komo ebe ma 10 seconds still na yenzin komo na woni nso abem bi. Good evening.
Good evening, Kwamina.
Yes, Adawu, 10 seconds me too.
I'm coming on my dad's. I'm coming on Ghana. Here, ho, you know, MPP as a party now. They be a oba. A whole Ghana, you come in, feed the Mabanan. Now, I feel it's interesting, John Dramani Mahama, resetting Ghana agenda, no Zaban. Or best is some BBR because MPP are banner say BBR in advance. Inti Ghana for Giza Wenya, ma watu ababumen, ibianya botel, na yam on bompe major Mahama, no yamepa, Ghana basi same biano wata, madasi.
Daoud, good evening.
Good evening, Kamla.
Miss Ankumsa, 10 seconds me too.
Unko, yeah. Down here, former president down here, I knew any day for how. No, you know, I'm Mama, I don't want to a Mama. I'm not the one.
90.3.
Agenda 111. So, Kamla, what promises? I had 2 years more to the no one to come more. After 2 years, when she couldn't, in my former president, I could find the better man now. Also, too ambitious. But then you want to consider what the popular now. Two times you can say, what could go on do more? What is that? You should be there to tell them that.
That's it, Mr. Okay, that's it, Mr. Kubisa. All right, when to enjoy. Good evening.
Good evening. So,
yes, sir.
Richard Atavaz.
Okay, Richard, you too.
The friend catch me on today. And many water vaccinado. You get on your giant car. No, what's happened about in Cherry. But dollar now, only before Miss Anna, what the moment there. On one wife to 3 months, this I don't before. Want to buy one castle. Now you be that. And some more phone 2 1 day and one wire my daughter and why no before. And me near yen yet, now it's a video me pen make a day. To see us or go to our back. Damn my boots in this if you never will be young. Because in people from ya could glance and then there. The food no woman, no way, well, look at them. What today? Yeba, you lose the answer. And to see, says, okay, then they are what to about what's in this opinion. And young with person swing.
All right, Master, I say. Uncle Paul, good evening.
Good evening.
What you mean too?
Any Mara, and this one bar, a bay Mopena. And we'll cast it on and say, one more can, more cast maybe. Ediana, NTP bad at home. What's on my way? And to tell another bad tea, another young uncle. The obey no yebi. Ghana Babang in the Oscar Ghana Satisua. Nema no one of the education pay, I another. And this baby when you pay education and class. And it's a Obana say, what they or that place or they bad. No way, our back. Maybe free education. And it's your by say, free education yet. And also, your company room to me yet. But what about? And as a be about own to school, but one about own to store that place down for money back, so to me farm. Then I'm sure it's what that's more you be about fancy, a Ghana should be a now young coin. Now, 1 year politics 7 on my as a here.
Yanko Panenka was so good evening.
Good evening, very common.
Yes, sir.
Jason,
all right, could you mean too?
I'm there. I started programming. Also, my day I started now. No, can be beat today. Yeah, problem now quite there. On my, yakul. As about kind of soil and quite. I didn't know can him bomb there yakul there. Say, you didn't say if away. I could win a choosing the beyond. Let's say, Biana, 1 year of your money now, remember so. As an inquiry, I didn't say he know money into young bomb for that more than pet. Until they you need to do. Maybe 2 years, 1 year cry, but you may never say they am pet because Mamma will not Maya and woman Ghana, you may free you. As a baby, you slow. Oh, there, in here to Memphis, Dawson. I don't know, Codo on your my hand, but what will be your benefit will be. I don't know, maybe I have bread, nay, mean ye can go say the president day na ye on ye yempe on boyen but obi e be yedin tell us an kwato aba you for ba no so ba ma open no ba ye o da kire ye na kire ma yitim na yitim ihe ehia for ihe na ye bre na wona ogu wonde bia no enjoy
kayo better say all right but there is only one way you able to me aka kire aba na otu na president to the yempen that is election.
But election so
any other way be better say good evening aba ben yodo
brother
aba
one phone man
ya me adumo na won so e
but your masumi
okay
me sorry dem Kastle na what I market is going on
yanko enim
hey brother dama 7 years development planning ina me peda maka bibi kan ho kaka abruna enkroma obeye da mazana to one insan kroma nyi won abani bi be take over ibi so botredo nana da me planan na oda hin ema no wunhu na won tria da me planan no do onu nka da nchana ye ma mpanyin eyi dada we ya wasa so akwa do his excellency John Dramani Mahama da me plan ni 2013 2014 okafa ebe ya okwa kafa ye be Emma opo no ho abogofo da won ye hu mpese no hu way forward na eyo be ye oda so da na rekan obi be ye didi idule motua do na ade na aka nwuram na wo fa na atofa malka bibi de blocks we oda wotua do obutu wa kire be ko wotua da
anka atosa me ni ha
anya chobe obitei only to message to come 5 cents na me say
okay
and you for party ni blog na nado obato do sia wo chi otumi ye this baby odyssey na nka so na agye na 111 ya lepo bi so won de ori ahen no wu ahen wo commission ma nurses wo fa won mo wo ye adwuma wo ma ya tigana hanu me de mo lu ko bia yinyim eti ye nyam frama ene exercise ba omi aso na continue to in ma other nature say go to fete ya ba fra wan oye de ma asa won hye no won so won issue ma mo ma twetwe Ghana fo
me da say aba be yodo me da say de ma asama na anu ja mo won ka wana asam good evening yes sir
aba boma
nyame adumo papa won so e okay
but mo try there ya da wana atude in the whole of the central region make it coach now what is there is about so good for 8 good years one more prepare one time she economy my sense that's about papa that's what I want the way you need the one in the support because we are only one Ghana it's a Ghana
okay better say good evening
yes man
chairman Alaji sorry
now salamu alaikum
wa alaikum salam
ichi ebusi afudina
yajedo
yes man friend the currency na some na America kaka economy me see the Ghana yeto ambade Ghana numun onyem block aka na ya huntain anamebua dollar lo kosure na Ghana na yenya atum because na hoche papa wa man Ghana yin if whoever caused the economy dollar na waba reforming so oye friend Trump so oye friend atu force no many my find the economy no wa konyin yan piti fumentase so imagine there dollar na wa before mun so oya hono ya wana it is one paper ni ye so
okay
because oya history for your back history who there and we dollar ko 14 class no and piti and this wo be no about 12 or 11 it's whether you like it or not yes me you dollar be the web degree in fee and this achievement
okay
what pure okay and this achievement
Alaji be that say
na be from that not me
yeah me sure was good evening hello good evening
hello good evening
yes sir
okay suman na pomo
nyame adumo papa won so e
Naminado, Uncle John.
Uncle John, me too.
Aya, Sambia, or how papa. Now, make a deba before make a master, no more be today. And a $11.9 or 11.9 from 17 cities. She will do 11.9. Difference of 6 cities, 10 pesos. This is a young bidder. Uncle Suman, a year no come by what ye, but you for the magic with that. But when bidder.
Yeah, it's a MPP time. I remember when we were you could do 11 cities. And
yes. No, and now he could do 11 cities. It is one no.
Okay.
Abandon a waba power. And they see the money. To the stand there. 6 city friends. And then see Ghana the Yabba same with that. Within this short possible. But how can I be a building reserve? If I told MP what do the reserve? No, the issue near that one.
Oh, Uncle Paul, sorry. Oh, my cards. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, boss.
Yes, man. Let me ask my father. What fun then? Munyan MPP free. And a mess servant. Na anka winya abota sabi say ekwo winyim na kapima chesa wichi na eka sinti kolom duma ababa pim na monje ma onya no kwa iyo tudam na jama na waya ya ma wada ko opposition no. And I come on, Yano, one cat, no win yet, them propaganda, dam, Ghana man. Moyano, one cat.
All right.
Then one cat has one tongue, now man, win ya interest one for the next election. To my son, Macano.
Let us say, Papa, each and a short time. Last caller, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man.
Yes, boss.
Okay,
Uncle Abraham too.
I may get that. Yo, million come on, Master, let me say about the free now. Let me say, if you mind them, and we say, yeah. Now, remember, Master, that we go to the now, I'm going to tell the big time. And she says, you can't, into Pona, come out, I'm not, I'll show into Pona, and it's into Pona, I better do other men who have a brother, I'll perform a cry. And to me, the other thing with it. That's what are you in that car? Anyway, I think what the devil wants to show me that I just don't want that dead man is no. A many wires, no. Fernando, I need to know why women never say to our son. You know, you can get a part to our family. All right. And then you have to amateur radio and defend every department.
Let us say for calling. I mean, sure. All right. We say the course in JC. Bring to me for call. I say, tell the MPP man to stop the voodoo analysis. Is he saying all those who did not vote are NPP members? What about the first-time voters? Who account for them? NDC won 2012 by over 150,000 votes and lost by over 800,000 votes in 2016. Is he saying the NDC members did not vote in 2016? Parties don't own the people, especially floating voters. Nana, okay, Nana, may I say? I have not talked about e-blogs and I am not in the studio. No wonder they dream about me. I thank them very much. Tell Abba Benua Do that I am glad she really thinks about me. God bless her. Ankrato. Shamaba, I'll say, Engineer Mighty Shamaba still do NDC, Mijim pumping. NDC, Orokodo Dread. Baumia better leave Ghana alone because Adumba Mahama and Wise team are working 24 hours. NPP, Aji Jesus are sorry, Ampa Dawn. Greetings to Genuine Mayor Justice George Arthur, Esther Wattenbeck, and Kwesi Mensah Savoy from Shamaba. All right. God has appointed Mahama already. Give NDC 24 years more. Mahama should continue his position as a president. No one else can help us in this country. Long live Mahama, long live NDC. Okay. Also, the Banyan. Okay. Father, just a second. Yanko.
Make sure a kitechi commander for Aban Papa. My former university first years. Aban you 20 fees. In the free SHS or Koda is Banebu. Na afisu wonko school 1 month, 2 months. What's na school Richard? What's na school Richard is Banebu. Free sanitary pad record. Taxes ahua abanwe yefu. Aban Papa. Your best read egwezifo. Say $1 do. All cost when people are bird will increase one zama. In the dollar every 17 about 12, 11. Your best someone there wanted to one zamado. So taxi drivers, truck drivers, why should the 15% reduction in transport fares comes Saturday? Or try then you importers, exporters, retailers. Yan so yete to yan zamado. Na inshisha adwin papa abanoa with the prudent economic management. No faso no oka yen na wo manyi. All right. Jomahama oroku orotu download mobile nziban nzama yoto no bobaya dan bogwam.
All right. Yeah. Aziz.
Yeah,
yes, as I can see uncle.
Yeah, uncle. And me pede me draw a tea for anti-shikakra. No, growth under NPP. Only the for next one, I said, Conoroko. Mama, I don't mean IMF report. Sorry, World Bank report. 1 minute.
Just 1 minute.
Very well. World Bank report. I say, 2024, Ghana debt to GDP exceeded, reaching 5.7%, a significant improvement from 3.1 recorded in 2023. And actually, what is being projected by the World Bank in 2025, as the economy will grow at a percentage of 4.3.
Okay.
Until we will grow economy 5.7. Now we're showing to 3.2. No, say we grow economy 3.4. You are here saying there on one bono model. In any way, we be some question be. Also, Ukraine Russia war on no $1 now confirm. I mean, federal veteran. You see. Ukraine. Russia war. We didn't say that Ukraine Russia war. No $1 no. Okay, we blame
on the real overall performance of the economy. Maybe
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There. Money at me. Say full okay. Pe. Bibia ba Jaco Ghana.
All right.
Okay. It is Russia being the leading producers of crude. No supply of crude. Next, on Ukraine walking. No, on channel all the crude to Asia. Like kind of work or Saudi no, a capital one, a economic share, a concert when demand or price oil then.
Of course, as this made us say. And the answer.
Just 10
seconds.
Mama Zaman no musician there. Dama man paying Ankasa Wabaka wana say me there. Development a waka kaka a tree nara. Boboshe, I'm a benyo do or say. A friend, a baby starty, on your problem. Also, your mamma cafano, Danino, ne facing time in office, no cafe bay.
All right.
When to my yejuma, but this time, Uncle Faba, Magana fear an expectation yard, although to know yejuma. I'm away 2 minutes while bois. Say, ya can a boy, yes, come home, but a better than a album home. In your account, we are senior second year, you finish. Old project, you find cut a saw, you find a new project, or the problem, or the problem.
Let us say, Antimansa. Every say they see. The MPP man is saying there was voter party in the last election due to the mistakes of their governance. Their assertion is a total lie. The reduction in the Ashanti region Gangantuan number was made so by the vigilance of NDC members in Kumasi. Hence, the reduction in their vote and not about any apathy. Uncle Paul Bacano. Game Park, the maso and Max Buy. Max Buy is what the oil reduction sales, weekend reduction sales. And they rush to oil Max Buy. Na waso kaje unyama watitodo nibi. www.maxbuy.com.gh and after 0544019552 and 0594091122. Don't come me. Lonat. Ono enaba or scatter malaria. Test if you're malaria before you take in Lonat. Your number one preferred medicine to cure your malaria is Lonat. The muscle and a high sense and a feel Betway and Anointed Engineering Services Limited. One boy. Mrs. Combination production team headed by Mr. Bernardo Gossman, FKK, Black was training to on Facebook, then also on YouTube. Have a wonderful good evening. Bye bye.